sure Kyle and the goats didn't like invade Detroit this morning. Kyle is so excitable for this hearing. I'm a little worried he's going to start like a reinvigoration of the Norman conquest. All right, stay out of Detroit, Kyle. Stay out of Detroit. Anyway, welcome. Hello, Nanya. Hello, Titi Woo. Let us roll the intro. Amatao.
Hold on. Wait a second. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah, that's the melody of the funky town.
You heard the towel, and that is the melody to Funky Town. Look at me. I'm a towel. Hello, Chris. Mass is corrupt. Welcome. Enjoy your new Super Towel emojis. You can click the little emoji thing. I made all these custom emojis for the channel. There's one of Bob Alessi. There's one of Chloe the dog in a wig. There's one of just Bob Alessi. Then there's like one for John. And then there's the Marshmallow Man. He's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Basically, I put a lot of custom emojis on the channel, and you can have a lot of fun with them. Hello, Nancy from the 508. Hi, Abby. Good morning or good afternoon. Well, Abby's only awake like 1 hour a day. So, Abby, I don't really think you have a morning and an afternoon. I don't think you do very much. I think you just kind of monitor Nancy. Hello, Patty LaBelle. Hello, Andy. YouTube Andy. All right, so listen. I'll lay out the schedule for today. Okay, we have like a set order of things to do. I actually have to be a news reporter towel today. Otherwise, Kyle's going to like invade Detroit and he's going to be all mad and the goats are going to be all mad. All right? Well, first of all, we'll talk about why I was up till 1 in the morning. Yes, YouTube Andy, I took a look at it. I was able to run it in a sandbox, but I haven't had a public network yet, so I haven't logged in. I love that you are all using web. Hello, Abby. I'm a towel. It's so good to see you. Listen, I want you all to use that website, WEBB. Let me know what it's like. Do some research, but I don't want to use it live on a private network, okay? I have to go to a public network. I'm not just logging in to a site where if I can speak to the developer of web personally, I will log into his website or her website. I'm not just logging into some website. I don't do that. It's OPSEC. It's bad OPSEC. I don't have time to go to a public network and stream. All right. So I'm not like logging in with credentials to some site where I don't know the dev on my private network. And even if I run a VPN, like it's enough to give a person too much information if I log into that kind of site. So anyway, I will do it. I want you all to do it with proper OPSEC and tell me what you think. And then one day this week, I will go to a public network and try it out. But hello, 3 Clerk Monty. Listen, we have a schedule today. We have a set order of things we have to do. Okay. We have to spend a little time recapping why I was up till 1 in the morning. Towel doesn't just stay up till 1 in the morning. You don't understand. We had a late night crew last night. If you missed late night Towel, oh my goodness, it was unique. It was fascinating. Listen, we have a lot to talk about. Okay. We have to have a towel walk. We have to have like a towel Walter Cronkite moment where I have to sit you all down and we have to talk as a towel nation. Okay, hello, Nikki Undercover. It's so good to see you. Good morning. Good afternoon. Okay, now we have an hour and 49 minutes. At 3 p.m., we are watching the Karen Reed civil hearing. Okay? Now, a lot of you have been reading my X, and a lot of you want to know if, in light of the PQ Farms video of Karen Reed's taillight in the morning at like 5:30 or so, and then the video I analyzed last night of the Sally Port has gotten me to the point where I think Karen Reed was framed. I am 99% there. Okay? And I know a lot. YouTube Andy, I got a chance to review it, the Deutsche Bank stuff, but I just need to let you know, we will do Epstein stuff after 3 p.m. Eastern. There is it is kind of tied into Epstein because of his network in Stoughton, but this channel for a very long time covered a specific case out of Massachusetts. You're going to want to learn a little bit about it. It's called the Karen Reed and John O'Keefe case because it might touch on one of Epstein's like local networks in a town called Stoughton. However, we can't do any Epstein files research until after 3 p.m. We have to watch this hearing. This is primarily a public information service. I have a duty to cover this hearing. There are rules in the court about who's allowed to broadcast it. I am one of the few people who actually went through the process like years ago, and I keep it updated to be credentialed by the Supreme Judicial Court of my state to do this. So I pray your indulgence that we will not be doing like Deutsche Bank stuff, Epstein stuff outside of the Stoughton connection until after 3 p.m. All right, we have like no matter like what you can talk about it, but no matter what you ask, I'm not going to do any Epstein stuff till after 3. We have to get completely caught up about what's going on with the John O'Keefe and Karen Reed case. Okay, it's very important. It is crucial. The 3 p.m. hearing today is important. Can you tell me about what it's about? I'm from Germany, so it doesn't tell me a lot yet. What's the issue there? Yes, YouTube Andy, absolutely. I can help you understand. So, in short, this is a case about a Boston police officer named John O'Keefe who was found dead on a lawn in the snow during a snowstorm on January 29, 2022 after 6 a.m. in the morning Eastern Standard Time. That's about like, I don't know, 11 a.m. your time, okay? So, now, it's very important to understand that the woman who was charged for John O'Keefe's death was a woman by the name of Karen Reed who was dating John O'Keefe. Now, this case, you want to Google it, YouTube Andy. Like, I will tell you a brief synopsis, but you're in kind of like the circle of expertise in this channel, like the subject matter experts. This isn't like a casual true crime channel that follows like 20 cases. I am a subject matter expert on the John O'Keefe and Karen Reed case. So the people who are like very close to the case tend to like follow this analysis because like they also know a lot about it. So we'll do our best to help educate you. It's a very friendly channel. There's a lot of polemics around the case, but that's not tolerated here. But my best advice is to kind of like ask questions of the people in the chat. You're going to see a lot of people like Boozy Beauty pop in or whoever who are like the like compartmentalized subject matter experts on various elements of this case. In short, Karen Reed was tried twice and acquitted for John O'Keefe's death. We are now looking at pieces of evidence that are indicia or indicative of the state having manipulated evidence in order to facilitate a cover-up of the person who actually killed John O'Keefe. There's a lot of new information that's come out through a process called public records requests. They were released last Friday. Now, sidebars during a jury trial in the American system are normally never released, especially this sidebar set. Judge Canoni actually said, the presiding judge for both trials, she didn't think these would ever be made public. Well, they are. So we're getting kind of a re-insight. Kind of think of like Joyce's Finnegan's Wake in the form of Gambetta Vico's theory of recursi e recursi. We're kind of revisiting a cycle from 2023 to 2025. We're revisiting it in light of new information in order to utilize the benefit of hindsight to reconstruct what facilitated the efforts by the state to blame Karen Reed for the death of John O'Keefe and potentially cover up the real culprit. Then we're going to look at why that's potentially tied into like the hiring of prostitutes, a sex trafficking network, Jeffrey Epstein, Stoughton, cop-run brothels, using the criminal system to punish women who spoke out about this system, etc., etc. So it's kind of like, imagine like an overlapping concentric series of social circles that all collapse in on the criminal justice system in Massachusetts and the John O'Keefe and Karen Reed case, a case about a man named Turtle Boy who's not a turtle and he's not an ecologist. He's just a man who calls himself Turtle Boy like I call myself Towel. Okay? And then furthermore, the case of Sandra Birchmore and the case of Tiffany Overstreet. Okay, Tiffany Overstreet, 2014, woman who got like artificially fake like criminal charges brought against her by the state police because she tried to speak out against this guy named Robert Devine, who was the deputy chief of the Stoughton Police Department in Massachusetts, which is tied into all of these cases because of the state police unit that worked for the Norfolk DA called the SPDU unit. Okay. The SPDU unit brought charges against Tiffany Overstreet in 2014, specifically around like late summer, which was right after Jeffrey Epstein on July 8th and 9th of 2014 visited Stoughton near a Dunkin' Donuts at the same time that Robert Devine and the Norfolk DA Michael Morrissey were hosting a children's basketball camp through the Police Explorers program, which was contracted through Learning for Life, which was tied to Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Okay, Tiffany Overstreet, through the fall of 2014, catches a bunch of artificial criminal charges at the hands of this state police unit. They were all tied in through something called the State Police B-Fit unit, basically. Anyway, so like they initially do this to Tiffany Overstreet, in my opinion, to keep her quiet because she was in the orbit of this network and I think was threatening to expose it because of how close she got to Robert Devine. Okay. Now, move forward to 2021, February 1st, 2021, 9:27 p.m. precisely, Eastern Time, Canton, Massachusetts, a woman by the name of Sandra Birchmore. Sandra Birchmore is a teaching assistant at a school in Stoughton. She had been... she lived in Canton, was working in Stoughton or something like that. She had been getting threatening text messages. She was pregnant with a baby. And she had been getting threatening text messages in the lead up to her death with someone saying that she owed money to the girls at the dorm suite. Okay, she didn't live in a dorm suite. She lived in an apartment. 9:27 p.m., February 1st, 2021. About a little bit more than a year before John O'Keefe's death. Almost like a year to the day. Sandra Birchmore is at home in her apartment. Her long-term partner, who's a Stoughton cop named Matthew Farwell, comes over. By the way, I call him her partner. Farwell had been abusing Sandra since she was a 14-year-old girl, where he groomed her through, guess what? The Police Explorers program, coordinated by Robert Devine with a grant through the Learning for Life program tied to Epstein and Maxwell. So, Sandra Birchmore is pregnant with an 8 to 10-week-old baby boy on February 1st, 2021. Matthew Farwell goes to her apartment at 9:27 p.m. in a mask and goes into the apartment and H is her from a door. Okay, he takes her and he hangs her from a door. It's horrifying. She dies. February 4th, 2021. There's a wellness check called in by Sandra's colleagues at her school where she works as a teaching assistant. The Canton police respond to Sandra's apartment on February 4th and find her dead. Within 48 hours, and you can read all of this, in the 2025 April Canton Police Department audit report produced, interestingly enough, by a gigantic multinational $100 million plus intelligence firm called Five Stones Investigation. Anyway, you can read this on page 99 through 102, and yes, I have this all memorized, of the Canton Police Department audit report, okay? But within 48 hours of February 4th, 2021, which was not actually a Monday, it was like a Wednesday. Let me just get that right. But don't focus on the days of the week. Focus on the dates. February 1st, 9:27 p.m. Eastern, that's when Sandra Birchmore is killed, okay? February 4th, 2021, that's when the Canton police find her. Within 48 hours between February 4th and February 6th, the Canton police collect three crucial pieces of evidence during their investigation. Okay? One, they get confirmation from the building maintenance man at the apartment complex that Matthew Farwell was the guy on the security video at 9:27 p.m. when Sandra's phone stopped working. Okay? Its battery started draining at that time because that's when he killed her. Okay? Now, they also get confirmation from the maintenance man that Matthew Farwell, the Stoughton cop, was the man who moved Sandra Birchmore into her apartment like a year before. They also then, the Canton cops, go to Sandra's school where they get information that Farwell had, evidence. They get evidence that Farwell had been abusing Sandra since she was a child, sexually. And then furthermore, that Farwell had told people that if Sandra wouldn't get rid of the baby, quote unquote, which is a horrifying thing to say. I use the term refuse to carry the baby to term. He didn't use that term. Farwell would take care of the problem himself. Okay, somehow, now you have to understand something about the Massachusetts judicial system. When there's an unattended death or a M or an S, we're using first letters only here, euphemisms, trying to be respectful of people who have triggers about this kind of stuff. When that happens, that is what's called in the original jurisdiction of the state police. So initially there's a local police department that responds. They, by statute, have to turn over the investigation to the state police department, detailed to the district attorney in that area. A district attorney is kind of like the top law enforcement officer for multiple towns in what's called a county. We have a county system in Massachusetts. So we have 8 or 9 counties. Within the counties are towns, okay? It's very British, all right? And so the towns have police departments. Above the town police departments are the state police. The state police detail a unit a division to the district attorney. The district attorney, per statute, has original jurisdiction over all unattended deaths. So the state police have original jurisdiction over all death investigations. On February 6th, 2021, the Canton Police Department turns over to Brian Tully and his state police unit, the same ones that investigated Karen Reed and Turtle Boy and Tiffany Overstreet, although that was like 7 years earlier. They turn over to the MSP unit, which is run by John Fanning, a former cop from Stoughton, Yuri Buchanan, okay, a former cop from Stoughton, and Brian Tully, a bald man. He just gets to be known as a bald man. He's the modern Bucky Dent, if you follow baseball, and there's nothing he can do about it. So anyway, Brian Tully is running this unit, and John Fanning somehow writes a report that exonerates Matthew Farwell for Sandra's death. That's in late 2021. By 2024, the federal government indicts Matthew Farwell, okay, overrides the judgment of the state police. It almost never happens. Overrides the state police and indicts Farwell in August of 2024 for murder of a cooperating federal witness under 28 USC 1153. Bro, we already know there were wiretaps about Epstein in the Massachusetts area dating back to like 2020. It is very possible Sandra Birchmore was cooperating in the federal investigation about Epstein's network in Massachusetts, and that's why she was killed. And Matthew Farwell was made to do it, and the most shocking part, it wasn't Farwell's child. The DNA has ruled out that Farwell was the father of Sandra's unborn 8 to 10-week-old baby boy. May God rest their souls. Which means it wasn't his brother Billy Farwell. So who was it? Was it Robert Devine himself? Was it John Fanning? There are going to be indictments, in my opinion, for this unit. And I'm telling you, their pattern of behavior started all the way back in 2014 to help Robert Devine. They took marching orders to protect their, in my opinion, boss of the operation, Devine. And it continued through to Sandra Birchmore, through to Karen Reed, through to Turtle Boy. That's what you're looking at. And the locus is the Police Explorers program tied in to Robert Devine and the Norfolk County DA, and the use, in my opinion, of state resources to silence women and survivors of victimization who got caught up in that network. Which makes you wonder, if Karen Reed was framed, what did she know, and why did the feds give her so much help? Because she must be an integral witness about, in my opinion, the actual target of the investigation that's been going on since 2022, May 26, 2022, is when the first public corruption grand jury related to the performance of the state police was impaneled, according to the information against Jessica Leslie, the grand jury leaker, that was released when she was brought before Judge Telwani. Okay? Judge Telwani personally of the Federal District Court in Boston impaneled that grand jury on May 26, 2022. It ran through February of 2024. Then another grand jury was impaneled. Matthew Farwell got a second superseding indictment in the fall of 2025 for the death of Sandra Birchmore's unborn baby boy. And then 2 weeks later, Pam Bondi, the U.S. Attorney General, personally took the death penalty off the table. Why? Because he's cooperating. This is big. They're about to take these people down. I'm just waiting. You don't understand. When these people get indicted, it is going to fundamentally change the entire circumstances of all these cases. The Karen Reed case, the Turtle Boy case, the Sandra Birchmore case, the Tiffany Overstreet case. People are going to go to federal prison. And this was all fundamentally centered around hiring prostitutes, entrapping young victims, girls and boys, into a cycle of abuse, and then like having the victims go up and down the hierarchy, like street hookers. I'm not to use that term. That's what they used in the, like, some of the language they were using, up to like escorts, up to like, you know, like you could kind of graduate to a madam, and then you could graduate even more to the like this like wealthy class where you could purchase all the products. That's a problem. It's a serious problem, and it intertwines everything. It intertwines John O'Keefe and Higgins talking, the code words about snow, the stuff about the literal words about prostitutes. Okay? it ties it all together. I believe there was a sex trafficking network in Norfolk County directly tied to Jeffrey Epstein, and I don't know why John O'Keefe and Brian Higgins had a falling out, but whatever it was, it's very obvious that the information we're going to review over the next hour, I hope everyone's caught up. I know some of you who know this case will be like, Grant, we know this. I know we're explaining it to our German friend, YouTube Andy. So, absolutely. So, yes, Mr. Monk's understudy. We know 100% that the DNA results have excluded Matthew Farwell as the father of Sandra Birchmore's unborn baby. 100%. Yep, the blind spot shadow, the very same John Fanning. I think John Fanning, based on my review of the Brian Tully IA docs and the federal probe and the way that the information was handled by the DOJ, the proffer that Higgins signed, Brian Higgins, the Queen for a Day. No, snow is code for, we're speculating, but like the most common use of the word snow when it's not snowing is cocaine. You hit the rails, or like it's going to be snowing. Get it? Because you bring bags of blow. If you know what cocaine is, it's like a white powder, so it's snow, bro. You're like, oh, it's going to be snowing hard. Like, I'm bringing an 8-ball. That's what it means. Well, snowing hard would mean like an ounce, but like it's going to be snowing. And I don't know, like, if you understand this is for educational purposes. Like, cocaine is sold by the gram, and it's a lot of money. Like, a gram of cocaine costs like as much as like an ounce of weed, probably more. So an 8-ball of cocaine is like hundreds of dollars, which is like an eighth. And then an ounce of cocaine is like thousands of dollars. So if you're a baller, like, you don't show up with like an ounce of weed, you show up with an ounce of blow. That's like snowing. Then it's like snowing hard. Mr. Monk's understudy, it's the information turned over in discovery from either the civil suit with the family, Sandra's family, or it's from the federal discovery. But it's confirmed. Like, Mr. Monk's understudy, I am telling you, as a towel, as Grant, it is confirmed Matthew Farwell is not the father of Sandra Birchmore's unborn baby. It's confirmed. We don't know who the father is. Yeah, 8 balls are a couple hundred. But my point is, that's for educational purposes, for people to understand what it means. Like, you're like, when you say to someone, well, first of all, like, just so you understand, like, you can't just be talking about doing cocaine. It's a Class C controlled narcotic. It's not treated like other drugs. It's a hard drug. It's not as bad as crack, because crack is treated as, I think, a Schedule B or A. But cocaine is like one of the most serious drugs you can get caught with, other than heroin, fent, meth. Like, you get caught with cocaine, it's like pretty much a felony. I'm not a lawyer, there's not legal advice, but there's no like, oh yeah, you can go to rehab for that 8-ball. No, bro, you had cocaine. Like, you are in trouble. That's a felony, basically. There's no decriminalization of cocaine. So, like, when someone's saying, like, it's gonna snow hard, like, that, like, no one talks about it like they talk about weed. Like, you're trying to come by and blaze, like, or you want to, like, smoke a blunt. Like, no, bro. Like, that is, like, basically federally legal now. Like, President Trump has pretty much moved it in that direction. You cannot say over the phone or in a text, like, you want to come do rails. Like, are you kidding me? Especially if you're a cop. So, like, the common street parlance is, like, you want to hit the rails, like, you want to go skiing, or you want to, or, like, it's going to snow. Yeah, you get in serious trouble for that shit. If you have those kind of narcotics without a reason to have them, I mean, hold on one second. We're working on it. Oh, by the way, so I'm talking to my towel friend to try to get my car that is mine into my possession. But I need your help for the next few days. So if you like this content, if you feel educated, any donations that come in will go to tomorrow's rental fund. It's like $70 for the rental, and then, you know, put a little extra for food. I rely on you right now. It cost me a lot to cover this case to the point where I could learn about all this. I suffered for it personally. I don't have any support other than you. So anyway, we'll be streaming all day. We got to talk about the developments overnight, though. We're fully caught up, okay? We are fully caught up. If you just listened, you understand all of the rings of connections to this, okay? That's not what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the video from last night. If you didn't see this, oh, yes, it did snow hard on January 29th, but it didn't snow hard on January 15th, which is the day John and Higgins were talking about when the Cronins and, or the Currans and a bunch of other people were over John's house for a rager. And we know this because Karen sent pictures to Higgins of the Currans like passed out at 6 p.m. before the game even started. He said, Karen said they had been going since like noon. That is my Cash App. Oh, hold on. Let me drop the links. So if you want to send donations to help with today, please, like, it's a group effort. So just don't send more than you can afford. Don't make it hard on your family. But like, if you can help, I'll put every donation that comes in the little meter there. And if we get to my goal, that'll be amazing. I'll be able to towel. It is not Chloe. How dare you, Bruce Wayne? Chloe, don't do that. We had a very traumatizing experience with a video of a dog the other day. You don't want to be saying, I mean, I know you're joking, but like, one, I love Chloe, all right? Chloe the dog in a wig. She's in the doggy CIA. Okay, second, like Emily sees her handler. Don't tell anyone. Second. We don't want to be like, we don't want to incidentally make Towel remember the doggy video. You want me to tell you about the doggy video? It's really bad. I didn't want to see that damn thing. It was censored. I still was so traumatized I had to stop my Epstein files research. You try seeing a video of a little doggy. He's just a little doggy. He didn't know what he was doing. See what you've done, Bruce Wayne? You see what you've done? Oh, God bless you. Someone sent a donation. Oh, goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, we have $40 towards the car rental fund. God bless you. God bless you, my dear friend. I believe that was the Blind Spot Shadow. You are a super towel. All right, so we have $40 towards tomorrow's car rental fund. I am an excitable little towel. I'm very grateful. Okay, excellent job, everybody. Okay, we're making progress. Everybody does their part, and then I'll give you just hours and hours of my information. I would do that anyway, even if you didn't donate. That's the point of a public information service. Like, there are people who can't donate, so they like share, or they comment, or they just watch, and then other people, we come together as a group, we help them learn. You make me a less anxious little towel. I tell you interesting things. Absolutely. Yeah, no more doggy video. No more doggy video. Absolutely no more doggy video. All right, what are we doing? Oh, yeah, we got to watch this thing. We're not watching the doggy video. We're watching the video from last night, but that. So if you missed it, I think we've had enough time for people to filter in. The hearing doesn't start till 3. If you missed it last night, I mean, listen, we had a night, okay, on Late Night with Towel. Like, Towel doesn't do Late Night with Towel. We did Late Night with Towel, okay? It was pretty intense. I want everyone to kind of sit down. We have to have a talk as a Towel peoples. I believe we may have actually located... Stop. We're not ready yet. I said we're not ready yet. Hold on, I gotta reload it. It's being rude. Okay. Now, we're gonna full screen this. Okay, now listen. I'm gonna take you through this in a guided fashion. Okay, I'm gonna mute the sound. I want to let you know. Okay, we're gonna take a look at this figure. This is Brian Higgins from 1:30 in the morning on 1/29/2022. Okay, Brian Higgins was at 34 Fairview Road when John O'Keefe passed away. He was inside the house. Okay, he actually was one of the last people to text John when John was alive. He texted John at 12:20. Are you coming? Okay, now I'm gonna tell you something about this. Brian Higgins leaves 34 Fairview in Canton at 1:30 or so in the morning and goes to the Canton police station. He says to move cars around, okay? Then he goes home, okay? Then, later in the day, he comes back to the Canton police station where he spends time with his close personal friend, then on medical leave, the chief, Ken Berkowitz, who's now dead. Okay? At 5:38 p.m., Michael Proctor and a mystery man... Oh, goodness. We have another donation. God bless you. Hold on. I have a duty to keep the fund accurate or people will donate too much, and I'll be like, stop. Okay. God bless you to the person who sent a donation. We're doing work, so I'm not going to comment on the app right now, but you have my God bless you, and I'm so grateful for you. Okay, so you coming here. That was the text at 12:20 from Higgins to John, correct? All right, so Well, hold on. We don't know what Berkowitz did yet. We don't know if he like gave them up eventually before he passed away. Like, can we please reserve judgment on Berkowitz? Like, I have good sources. I'm just telling you, reserve judgment. Don't do it, because then you'll end up feeling guilty. He's dead. Don't make that judgment until you know for sure. Yep, so we don't know exactly where Higgins was, okay, before he gets to the Canton police station to move his vehicle on the far left. I just want to set the scene here. Higgins, early in the morning, 1/29/2022, right after John O'Keefe has passed away. Like, he's on his phone, clearly, okay? It's 1:30 or so in the morning. Now, this figure is the mystery man. Now, I have proven, I think, definitively, that the Sallyport video after Karen Reed's car is brought by the state police from her parents' home in Dighton to the Canton Police Sallyport after 4 p.m. I believe at the 5:38 p.m. mark of the recording of the Sallyport, I have definitively proven that the what is on the screen is not caused by an activation by motion. There was already motion in frame for seconds before and after. I believe I found actual evidence of manipulated video submitted to a court, and I believe the purpose of the manipulation, you're going to see it has to do with this yellow box, is to veil and obfuscate the form and shape and wording on the back of this sweatshirt related to this mystery man. If this mystery man was near Michael Proctor and Karen's broken taillight at 5:38 p.m., that is enough time for him to bring the broken taillight to 34 Fairview Road. Like, literally, we also saw new evidence overnight. Everyone was talking about it in the orbit of this case on social media, of Karen Reed's taillight intact on the Pequasset Farms camera when Jen McCabe and Kerry Roberts are driving Karen's car around like 5:30 that morning. Okay? Which means if Karen's taillight, like, was intact, then it wasn't actually broken until the moment you see on the Sallyport video. Which means this was a cover-up and a frame job. And it looks like a very plausible person to ask questions to is Brian Higgins. It is huge. If you missed it last night, it's all over X. This is like a big deal. A lot of people are narrowing in on that yellow box. We're going to watch the whole clip. We got an hour and 20 minutes together before the hearing. A lot of people want to know, like, how, first of all, how I did this, how we found this. I want to thank the person on Twitter who got this screenshot on the left for me. This is the work we did last night. Do you know how long it took to isolate this? It took like 4 hours at 1 in the morning. We were working. Like, I think even like the regular late night crew went to bed. Like, the only people who were up were people I have like seen chat but never consistently. Like, they must be like on a different time zone or they stay up late. We were literally working, and it was like, it felt effortless because I knew I was onto it. This is the proof. We're going to watch it. I'm setting the scene. I want you to understand this is actually the proof. Okay? I used to support the state. I was very propagandized by the Norfolk DA's office and their people. I didn't know why. Now I know why they propagandized me. Do you understand? And I'm kind of like, I tried to explain it last night. I was propagandized by the Norfolk DA and their people to the point where, like, I had a cognitive block. Like, anything Alan Jackson and David Yannetti said and Miss Eliza Little, I just rejected offhand. Like, I had this, like, I can't even explain it. It was like, now that I think back, I see it for what it was. But it's like anytime they would say something, like this, like, thing kicked in my brain where it was like, oh, like, just look for a reason to dismiss it or mock them or like whatever. It was really bad brainwashing. I didn't even realize I had been brainwashed. And I'm smart. I'm like, I know a lot about philosophy, politics, etc., etc., etc. Like sociological conditioning, propaganda, public relations. They got me. Like, they got me. It's wild. And so now that I'm reanalyzing this, and when I say I'm a subject matter expert, if you're new to this channel, I watched both trials. I've seen every pretrial motion. I've seen every ruling. I've seen every transcript now. Like, the only things I haven't seen are like the last 3,000 pages of the second tranche of transcripts from Sidebahs. But I'm probably like one of the 10 foremost experts outside of the legal teams on this case. I know everything about this. And I also started as an apologist for the Commonwealth. So I'm telling you right now, when I tell you that on my full understanding of the factual record, every motion, every hearing, every transcript, every piece of evidence, this right here, this specific thing, like the way that I had to pull the video still out, the way that I had to reorientate the sort of like zoom on the video, like you wouldn't understand how zoomed in we are to get those two right images. The way that I had to slow down the actual video to show the artifacts that are not like coincidental pixelation, they're artificial blur boxes. And the fact that there's no motion event that triggers this man showing up, he just appears while there's motion before and after. I know how motion cameras work. This video is edited. It's proof positive that it's edited. A forensic analysis firm, like I'm what you'd call like, I don't know how to explain this. Like I'm someone who's just been around the internet so long that like as programs for the internet were created, like I was around, like I was watching like which programs became which programs, who the developers were. I know a lot of people, okay? So like I wouldn't call myself like a master of any one thing. I just know everything about computers, okay? I know everything about digital video editing, know everything about like photographic video editing. I know everything about like the technological foundations of like base zero encoding, hexadecimal encoding. I speak the language very well. And the thing with this video that makes it so interesting is when you do, like I do, you're not watching StreamYard right here. This is a like custom software client that I have made myself. Like the whole display you're watching is not post-production video editing. Like I can do real-time video editing. That's how proficient I am. It's like a TV station. I know what I'm looking at. When I tell you that that yellow artifact we're going to see is not incidental pixelation, it is what's called a blur box. I'm going to show you how I found it, and then I'm going to show you how I know that this is prima facie evidence of obstruction of justice. It's manipulated digital evidence designed specifically to obfuscate the figure that walks away from Michael Proctor, and then there's missing footage of whatever him and Proctor were doing around the taillight before this figure walks away. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I know I am right about this, and I'm telling you this is a huge problem. Like it's such a huge problem that because I know the level of my skill, you get that source file, not the exe. We need to actually get the source file. You get that source file, you give it to a video forensic expert, they will come back and they will tell you, much like when some of the audio experts were able to do analysis of one of the sort of missile launches in Gaza, okay? I can show you how they will be able to prove it. I can show you that if you get them, like the metadata is important, but that's not like the comment of, that's not the core of it. What you need is the actual source file. Okay, the metadata, like the MD5 hash, all of that stuff, it's only going to tell you as much as like the origination of the file. So like you're only going to be able to trace it back to when the initial file was generated. That's important, but what you really need is the source file, because if you get the raw source, if you can authenticate that you have the raw source, even if it's originally in an exe, it doesn't matter. Give it to a forensic video firm. The exe, they can, without letting it like transcode it, they can go into the exe. Like an executable is just what's called like a bat file in a container. A bat file is just like an executable that we're like, you tell a computer to put a bunch of shit in a bunch of specific places. So you can go into an exe without running the exe and just tear apart like the actual file and find what it's unpacking, and then just isolate that and then just pull that out, okay? You get that, all right? And then you look at that in like a standalone video forensic analyst like software with a team on it. I'm telling you, this is the smoking gun. I'm telling you, the yellow pixelation, it's not pixelation, it's a blur box that goes like from the figure to the floor, it's the smoking gun. And then furthermore, they weren't able to fully obfuscate. It would have been way too fucking obvious. As he steps, like I only caught this image on the far right here in 1 or 2 frames. As he steps away, they couldn't extend the blur box. It was so fucking obvious. So they drop it for 1 frame, okay? And this is magnified probably like 700x, maybe like 50x. I'm exaggerating with 700. This is what I was able to get. You can see the blur box functions to obfuscate his silhouette and the writing on the back of his shirt. There's white writing here, okay? But it tries to obfuscate it. And then as he turns, it lets his form come back because he's enough turned to not really see his like back. Okay, you can't really see what's going on here. Like his arms kind of tucked around, so even if there was writing, you can't really see it. Okay? His arms like almost like wrapped into his stomach. That is the smoking gun. It really does. It really does look like the same man. Like it looks, and you're going to see it. We're going to watch it. We got some time. You are going to see exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so let's watch it with no volume. All right, I'm going to take you through it. Actually, let's listen to Alan talk to the witness about it, okay? And then I'll come in after Alan's done talking.
I'm sorry, I said runtime. I meant time of day. Thank you. As a matter of fact, the time of day would be most easily seen right down here, although it's pretty small from where you're at. If you can't see that, please let me know.
I do not see that, no.
Okay. Your Honor, I'll hold off on that question, and I may ask the court for relief in just a moment. If we can play this for just a quick second, and I'll ask you, Mr. Bates, if you can pause it. Go ahead and pause there. Okay. Sergeant, this is the basic video, the point at which it was paused when Mr. Lally asked you to identify the individuals in the video, correct?
Hold on. Whoever just sent me an email, you didn't do the search right. The connection between Maxwell and Epstein and Devine is learning for life. Learning for life. You have to listen. Like I know you just made me read that. I know you're trying to help. Learning for life. Learning for Life is the charity in D.C. that sponsored the Police Explorers program. So your analysis missed the most important connection, which makes me wonder if are you trying to mislead me? Like, focus. Learning for Life. Learning, Learning, for FORLIFE. The person who just sent me that email, listen. Learning for Life is the entity that contracted with the Police Explorers program that was run by Robert Devine. You are not going to find the Police Explorers contract with Learning for Life in the Epstein documents. You're going to find that on the Sandra Birchmore case files website. So you have to go get that. And then on the Epstein files website, you're going to find an email from a British diplomat talking about Bill Clinton that at the end mentions Learning for Life. When you go back to the Sandra Birchmore documents, you're going to find that Learning for Life had 15 years of contracts with Robert Devine and the Police Explorers program in Stoughton. Only one of those exists. On that contract, it says, Learning for Life, a Washington, D.C. based nonprofit, will pay the Police Explorers program run by Robert Devine to do X, Y, and Z. Boom.
I believe it was a different time, but I'm not sure.
Do you remember using your green laser pointer pointing at the person in the back and...
No, bro, you know what should give you pause? This orange dummy, which is a boxing dummy in an orange shirt. John had an orange shirt on when he passed away, which is a sad irony. Dude, Higgins probably liked boxing in this area, dude. Higgins had an office there. This is a boxing dummy. Okay? That's weird.
Identifying that person as Trooper Proctor and then pointing at the person in the front, screen right, mistakenly as you.
This is Proctor.
You remember that?
I remember indicating where the individuals would be, yes.
Okay. And so do you have the green laser pointer with you?
I do.
Could you point at the location where you see Trooper Proctor?
I do not know specifically right now if that
It's this guy. That's Proctor.
is Trooper Proctor in the behind the vehicle, but when Mr.
Also, yes, I'm aware the video is inverted, okay? So the video we are watching is inverted. I'm well aware of that. We went through a whole experiment. I can invert the video of me right here. I know that. That's important because when Proctor, you're going to see Proctor, who's up here, you're going to see him move to the back right of the car. It looks like it's the back left, but it's actually the back right, okay? He's going to move there. People keep trying to look at this distraction of the taillight in focus. Don't. I told Laura, that's not what's important here. Watch Proctor when he moves to this other side. That's actually the back right taillight, which was the broken one, quote. So watch him. This is Proctor. He's going to move over here. Then I'll take you through the whole video one step at a time, okay?
Lally asked me to indicate where we would be, it was in this location here.
You're indicating toward the rear of the SUV.
Correct.
On Wednesday, and I just want to draw your attention back to your testimony on Wednesday, you used the laser pointer and pointed it.
Okay, now, I have reduced the original to 5x speed, okay? All right? And you're going to see the full series of movements, all right? So that was the intro where Alan's, like, asking questions. Okay? Now you're going to see them moving around. Now look at Proctor. Look at Proctor, okay? Look at Proctor. Look where he's going. He's going over to her right rear. Now that's Proctor. See the little bump? I call that like a blue and white bump. That's Proctor. You need to mark your orientation. That is Proctor. This guy is he's going to leave the garage, okay? So he is important because he is a known entity, but he leaves before the weird stuff happens with the unknown man. So just frame of reference. Proctor's up here at this point. We just saw him walk from here to here, okay? Follow the mouse. Proctor's the little bump above the car. He's out of view of the camera. This dude is doing shit up here. Now watch. This dude is important because this is all consecutive. You're going to see a pause. That's not a pause in the source video. That's a pause in court because Alan Jackson is pausing to ask questions to orientate the witness. So look, Proctor back here. Pause. Alan Jackson's now going to pause the video right here. So we got one guy who's just taking pictures. He's now closing the car. Proctor is still back here. Okay, just two dudes in the Sally Port. This is 5:38 p.m., okay? I want you to watch. It's still playing because, remember, in the background, although we're on point 5, Alan is asking questions to the witness, to Yuri Buchanan, about, this video. Okay, so I've muted that. We are just watching. Now watch. This is the important part. Everyone orientate yourself. This is where it's going to get important. We're going to see this play a few times. We're going to go through a progression of zoomed-in clips, and by the end, you're going to understand exactly what I'm talking about. Because to understand a video, you have to. First of all, the argument from the state is that this is motion capture. The camera doesn't trigger till there's motion. The most important part of analyzing a video is what happens before the operative moment, what happens after. Before the operative moment, okay, we're about to see the pop-in. There is motion. You need to understand. Motion events, it doesn't mean it only captures someone moving. It means there's a trigger time. It's code. You code the camera to trigger on movement, okay? And then once the movement starts, it captures a window, a predefined window. You need the settings. It's probably 15 to 30 seconds. So it doesn't need to trigger for each new individual movement. Imagine how stupid that would be. You would just have a bunch of still shots if it only was turning on and off based on movement. It's not what it does. That's not what motion-activated cameras are. Motion-activated cameras are designed to algorithmically record a set window of time based on the initial triggering event. The initial triggering event for this was these dudes walking around the car. It's continuous. If you're moving, it's just going to keep extending that 15-second window. It's not going to stop until there is no registered movement on the camera for 15 seconds. A camera would be useless, a motion-activated camera, if it only turned on for the moment that it caught movement and then turned off. It doesn't do that. It turns on for like 15 seconds on movement and will perpetually record while there's movement. And then as soon as it has a 15-second like window with no movement, it will eventually stop. That's what it means to be a motion-activated camera. So watch this part very closely. I want you to pay attention to him. He is already moving. There's no new event. He's already moving. Watch him leave frame. Guy pops up. Okay? We're going to watch it over and over. This man, you just watched it at 0.5 speed, popped up out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. Okay? So we're going to watch this. I'm going to show it to you again. Okay? Alan Jackson's now asking the witness questions about this man. Okay, right here. Now look, he leaves, and right after Proctor follows him out. Okay? So unknown man with no explanation where he's coming from, what he was doing with Proctor, walks away, and then Proctor follows him out. Now you're going to see this again in 0.25 speed because I really want to hammer this home. Hello, Sua Sponte. What a wonderful username. If you're just tuning in, we're 1 hour away from the Karen Reed hearing. We are watching the big revelation from last night. It was late night with Towel. 1 a.m. we were up working on this. And we are raising towel funds for tomorrow's rental car because you are all super towels. You can use PayPal. You can use the Venmo, the Cash App. We got to kind of wait here for a sec because Alan asked some questions and then it's going to like kick into gear again, okay? So watch what happens. It's going to take a second here and then we're going to go to 0.25, all right? We're doing this methodic. Like first of all, this took us 4 hours last night, so I really don't mind that it takes me like 20 minutes or 12 minutes to show you this. I worked really hard on this. So you can see like we're actually looking at a video that was played on the screen in court. So I'm dealing with like from a video like analysis perspective, it's rough that I have to like do this. I wish I had the raw file, but no one has the raw file. Like we've talked to our people. I've talked to my people. I'm trying to get it, but like without it, I'm limited in my analyses. You know what I'm saying? So yes, and remember, the jury is not doing the kind of analysis we're doing. Remember, I am literally ripping this from a screen. Like watch what I'm about to do with the zoom. Like this is the original, okay, but I've already zoomed it in a little bit. And then, all right, I'm going to give you the zooms. The zooms are where it gets wild when we start zooming in. All right, so everybody get ready. Okay, ready? So watch that guy leave the frame. Boom, pop it. Okay? Now it's at 2.5 speed, too. Sorry, I burped. We all need mints from time to time. All right, so again, this is 2.5 speed, and we're going to play this through. All right, we got about like 8 more minutes of video. It's going to start zooming and slowing down. Why did I do this? Because video analysis requires context. You would not understand the zoom cut you're about to see unless I showed you the fold before. Boom. Did you see that? So this is zoom on 1x speed, okay? Remember, this man has just walked out of frame, okay? Watch.
Did it appear that someone just seemed to appear out of nowhere toward the rear of the vehicle? Just now?
Due to the triggering of the motion.
I asked you why. I asked you if. Did it appear if someone just appeared out of nowhere in the back of the vehicle?
That's what the footage represents, yes.
Can we go ahead and play this? Pause it.
Okay, now remember, I was muted there for a second, so was Alan. Did you see that was at 0.5 speed? The yellow box appears. We're going to watch this over and over because again, we're kind of like narrowing in. I'm going to make the point, okay? Hello, in Limonene. Peep says hi to you too. Oh, you were saying hi, Peeps. Well, Peep says hi to you too. Now, in Limonene was here for some of this last night. We went late. Bunny B was here until like 1 in the morning. We went really late. Now look. You see him walk away? Okay, now we're at, remember, this is 0.5 now. Sorry, I did the first one at full speed. This is Proctor walking away at 0.5 speed. He's turning his body because he's carrying something. Walking away. No, the yellow box is not the light. Okay, this is I'm going to show you later. Do you see down here? Pay special attention to this box. See that yellow box? That is an artificial blur box. They blended the blur box with some of the snow here, and then they let it obfuscate this guy's body for a few frames. But this is the tip-off. I want you to watch this yellow box. That is not a pixel, bro. That is not artificial pixelation. It's not caused by a light. It's not caused by the pole. That is a blur box that they blended to look white, but they forgot to do it down here. And then the blur box is really shielding like this. It's actually like meant to look like an artifact from the pole, but it's not. It's like the kind of thing that if you were trying to make something look like it was a pixelation, but like failing, like you did a good job, like it would pass like 99.9%. The only person who would catch this is someone who's like used to over years seeing what a normal pixelation looks like versus like an artificial blur box blended to be a pixelation. But we have two hints. One, he pops in. It wasn't a motion activated trigger and he pops in. Second, watch this dude's leg. Okay? As this guy's moving around, watch this dude's leg. Look, that leg does not move. Okay? As that dude moves. That's impossible. That is video editing. And then, did you see that yellow square? Everything's gone. That was a blur box that they stretched out as he walked to kind of veil what he was doing. And then that is the actual form of that man. Okay? That was digitally altered. Post-production to add a blur box that was blended, and then they forgot to blend one yellow square. All of it jumped away, and then they just hoped that this wasn't a good enough silhouette. Like this, they couldn't extend the blur box anymore because it would literally become too obvious. So they were like, it's only one frame, it's very zoomed in, and watch how quick he goes out of shot. Like almost immediately. Like Alan pauses it, but you get 1 or 2 frames just of his side profile as his, like, he's turned to the right, maybe left depending on the inversion. He's turned and he's like covering what he's holding. That is, and then Proctor does the same movement to shield it from the camera. Bro, that is them breaking her taillight and taking it away from the car to bring it to the scene. I'm 99% positive. It's proof. Like, I can prove it if you get me the source file. I shouldn't prove this, bro. Karen has money. Her people have money. Just go to a forensic video analyst, okay? You can prove this is the smoking gun. That is your suspect. Whoever that is did it. Probably. They either killed John or they planted the taillight. And the fact that they're planting the taillight but not identified and they're talking to Proctor, bro, they're the person who probably killed John. That man right there. You have everything you need. They did it. They left it in. I'm going to show you in context why they left it in, okay? Because remember, we're on 0.25 speed, so Alan is still asking questions, but it's very slow. So I muted the questions, and you're just watching the video play at 0.25 speed. That's why you see the camera operator moving up and down a little bit. We're now going to get to the super zoom, okay, at 1x speed, 0.5 and 2.5. The super zoom is what puts this all together, okay? We only have a few minutes left of this clip, maybe like 4 minutes. Now watch. He walks away at 0.25. You only get, like, the reason they left it there is because you only get like 2 frames of his body, and then the rest is him just walking off camera. Now watch Proctor walk away. YouTube Andy. Hold on. Okay. I got you, YouTube Andy. Do you have Twitter? Are you the one that doesn't have Twitter? It's on my Twitter. Everyone should really have Twitter. I really would prefer it. It's the best way for me to get you information. Okay. I'll send this to you as a reply, though. Hold on, let me just go into my sandbox. I don't like people I like sending fake headers. Alright, there. You have what you need. Thank you so much for the support, YouTube Andy. God bless you. Hold on. Let me write God bless you. Thank. All right, so there's Proctor walking away with the box. Okay, now this is 1x super zoom. I got to really focus here.
The rear of the vehicle.
All right, so this is 1x super zoom.
Due to the triggering of the motion.
I asked you why. I asked you if. Did it appear if someone just appeared out of nowhere in the back of the vehicle?
That's what the footage represents, yes.
So that's 1x. Watch Proctor walking away. Watch his body turn. They're holding something. Now watch this. Okay, this is 0.5. Did you see that pop in out of nowhere? We can look at it again. Okay, look at this. Okay, ready? Okay, look at this. Prior to the pop in. Okay, that's actually the frame before. Hold on. Let me get you to a little bit forward. Okay. Got to do it literally frame by frame. Okay, watch this. So I'm going to do it frame by frame. Watch Proctor walk away in the last one. Okay. Now we're going to start. Watch it switch. It's going to switch as soon as the text change. We are now at the next file. Box zoom 0.5 speed. Do you see that guy's leg? This is pre-pop-in. You got Proctor's head over here. You got guy's leg right here. Watch the pop-in. Not there and then there. Now, from the second there is pop-in, look at this yellow box right here where my mouse is. Look at it. Look at the yellow box up here. That is what's called a blur box. Okay, a blur box is like a graphic. It's like an artificial graphic for video and photo production that you superimpose over an existing piece of content to blur the content behind it. That is like a relatively rudimentary, like yellow blur box that is just like firm. Like you see the hard edges. That's what shows me it's not an incidental artifact in the video. Two things. One, it was already recording, bro. This is the dude's leg. He was walking out. This is not a new trigger event. This is an edit. The footage before this is missing. I'm telling you right now, I know it's missing because this block of time covers like 17 minutes real time, but there's only 5 minutes and 51 seconds of footage. Okay, 5:38 p.m. Eastern, 1/29/2022. This specific moment in time, okay, it comes after an edit, so someone excised the content before it, and then when you like do video editing like this, if something is wrong with the core file, like you manipulated it, it's gonna look, there's gonna be like a harsh fucking jump cut, like when someone's not there to when someone's there. The best you could do is make it look like it's like a pixelation problem. This is an attempt to mimic what a pixelation issue would look like to actually obfuscate a jump cut. Like a jump cut is fucking harsh. When you jump cut in video editing, the human eye will notice it because it's different than something on the screen. It's like a continuity error in the flow of the image. So to obfuscate that, someone, in my opinion, and this is my I'm kind of an expert in this, but I'm like, I don't have a degree. So I guess you could call me like a very advanced, very advanced real-time video producer. Probably like outside of a television station, I'm probably like the most advanced, like you're going to get. Like literally people like to try to run the software that I run to do live streaming. If you don't have training, you cannot do it. So I'm telling you, like, I'm an expert in codecs, I'm an expert in video encoding, I'm an expert in video artifacts. I'm an expert in like blurring. I'm an expert in photographic manipulation. I'm an expert in like photographic editing. I'm an expert in video editing, which is different than photographic editing. I'm an expert in like blurring, like blur boxes. So like a blur box is not like it's too consistent. If you just threw a fucking blur box on there, bro, it would look like you did like a fucking like a high school fucking PowerPoint project. People would be like, bro, you just threw a fucking blur box on there. This is edited. Alan Jackson would notice it. I am so refined that I know what this is actually a blur, like a what's called like a blended blur box. A blend is when, okay, so a blur box, remember what it's doing? It's transposing a like an obfuscated like square over the source image. That doesn't look natural, okay? But what might look natural is if you what's called like blend the box, the blur box, with the background, okay? Now, blending is the best way I can describe it is like, think of having like a paintbrush and you have like one background color that's already on the canvas and then you put another color on top. And in some areas you want the top color to like be predominant, but in other areas you want them to kind of like blend in. Okay, unlike with paint where you can't make yellow and white. With a blur box and blending, you can absolutely just like excise the blur box. You see how it's like covering? Oh, dude, proof positive. Dude, look at this. You see over Karen's car right here? That's a blur box. Dude, this is proof. This is a blur box. It's consistent. All they did was blend the color of the blur box right here to white, and they forgot to do it down here. They got lazy as fuck. They thought it would just kind of blend in, but bro, it's actually two blur boxes. So the first one ends here. Oh my God. Oh my God. I see exactly what they fucking did. So see this line right here? This is a blur box. It's the end of the like first layer. Back here is the second blur box, and then the like edges of the blur box kind of like extend around the corners. Dude, all she did was fucking do this by hand. Look at this. Like, see, the actual hard blur box is right here, and they fucked up a little bit right at this part. It superimposes over the bumper right here. You see how the yellow line goes straight and then it captures a bit? Dude, this is edited. This is a felony. Oh my God. I don't know who did this, but dude, this is actual, like, it's not photoshopping because that doesn't, this is a scandal. Listen. We found the missing transcript the other day. That was somewhat intense. This is actually a scandal. I can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this was digitally manipulated specifically to obfuscate the form. Dude, I can see her fucking draw lines. I'm saying her because I have an idea who did it. Dude, I can see their, like, brush lines. Look at they trace the figure, motherfucker. It cuts in here. Oh my God. Now that I'm actually dude, I was tired as fuck last night. Oh my God. Oh my God. Dude, I can see the blur boxes. I can see where they end. I can see exactly what they did. The blur box runs right here. It has kind of like what are called like hues off it. Like what it is like a square, rectangle blur box with shorter width than length, okay? Like that. And then around the edges, it has this like feature where it like it tapers the blur. She had to, or I'm saying whoever did this, dude, they fucked up. Look right here. They didn't do a good job. It's not blended right. Dude, oh my God. This was done by hand, one frame at a time. And it like someone called it amateur. Dude, that's not amateur. Yes, it looks like to a professional like it's amateur. Dude, they got away with this in open court. Tell me that's fucking amateur. It got by Alan and David and Karen. Oh my God. Dude, this is the result of like 20 years of skill. You really have to understand, like, editing a video like this on a frame by frame basis is kind of like being a 1960s animator for Disney, okay? You have to meticulously, with brush strokes, manually do the blurring, and they did, but they fucked it up. They really fucked it up. I'm telling you, this is proof positive. And okay, listen, Laura, that's what you're seeing, bro. It's not that they were trying to fuck with the taillight. The blur box goes over the taillight. Look at the blur box right here, Laura, if you're watching. Dude, oh my God. Oh my God. This is proof. It's actually proof. Oh my God. Oh my God, I can see the brush strokes. Oh my God. I think I have to tell, like, the FBI. Oh my God. I was so tired last night. I could do it. I got it. But I didn't realize it was like this. Dude, somebody tell Richie to get in here. Richie, I can see the fucking brush strokes. Whoever did this, I have my suspicions, did it by fucking hand. And I can see the brush strokes on the blend, tracing the figure. I can see it. Dude, they used a blend box. Like, it's kind of like it's like a white blend box by the head. Then, like, they kind of artificially made it yellow because they're anticipating, like, justifying it by using the fucking, like, thing in the background behind him. Bro, it's yellow before the camera can even see the fucking pole behind him. Oh my God, this is a scandal. Oh my God, this is actually a felony. It's dispositive. I'm telling you, this is absolutely dispositive. This is going to be a huge deal for like 2 years. Dude, oh my God. Oh my God. What have they done? It's so fucking amateur. They left, dude, you don't need to even be in the FBI to see, dude, I get I'm like good at this, but this is really not okay. This is so not okay. This is such a problem. I'm really mad about this. This is not okay. Not okay. Like, there's no way Alan, David, and Karen ever would have been able to find this, especially because they were so overloaded. They wouldn't have even known what they were looking at. Oh my God. Yes, Limonene, I am well aware of those two names. Until we can prove it, I'm saying nothing. All right, I want proof. I know the Commonwealth doesn't care. You don't understand. If I can prove it, if I can prove this is felony obstruction of justice at a bare minimum. It's not even, like, the editing is a big deal, but this is how you turn someone into a cooperating witness. You're like, bro, I know you edited this video. I know you did this. I'm looking at it. Like, I'm telling you that I know what you did. Like, drop the act. Who the fuck made you do it? Dude, that is your suspect. Not the person who edited this video. They were the pawn. Find out why they did it and who that man is, and you've solved John O'Keefe's death. I've given you everything I can. Taken it as far as I can. I'm telling you right now, that is, like, first of all, this is above me. All right, you need to talk to Alan. You need to talk to Mr. Yannetti. You need to talk to Mr. Jackson. You need to talk to Miss Little, Miss Eliza Little. You have to talk to Mr. Yannetti. You have to talk to the Swedish lawyer, whatever his name is. I don't know if he's Swedish or Danish. I'm sorry, Mr. Seligson. There you go. I know your name. That's a good sign. If I know your name and I don't think you're an evil man, you're making progress. Marty Weinberg, I got questions about it. All right, know what I'm saying? Anyway, Marty Weinberg, get me those damn paintings. Just want the fucking paintings, Marty Weinberg. I want to make a fun for the survivors. Marty Weinberg, get me those damn paintings. And also, I want the Isabella Stewart Gardner paintings from Khashoggi's Men. Get them for me. Marty Weinberg, You want to absolve yourself? Listen. Got to talk to Marty Weinberg for a second. Marty Weinberg, I hope you're doing well. My name's Grant Smith Ellis. Mateo. Marty Weinberg, okay? I can, be a rational, reasonable human most of the time. But the doggy video, bro, no, all bets are off. So, therefore, you and I got to have a talk through the screen. My name is Grant Smith Ellis. I'm Mateo. Good to meet you. We met that time outside of court one time, sir. Mr. Weinberg, I would appreciate if you would be so kind as to speak to the two firms in charge of Mr. Epstein's estate. There's roughly, I want to say, like $3 to $5 billion worth of paintings across 4 holding companies. Would you mind, going to get them? I know, it's a big ask, okay? Could you go get them and then bring them to Congress? And then would you be so kind as to just not be involved anymore after that? And then, Congress will set up a fund. We're going to liquidate the paintings. And then the survivors of the victimization are going to get the money. Okay? So, everybody wants a little absolution. So, I'm not opposed to giving you some absolution. There's nothing wrong with absolution. Get the fucking paintings. And also, I want the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum paintings. Now, you might be saying to yourself, Grant, I don't know where those are. I don't care. Call somebody. Call some random lady. Call the white first lady of the Philippines. I don't give a shit. Find the fucking paintings, bruh. They belong to the people of Massachusetts, and quite frankly, I want the back. Okay? So find those paintings. Find the other paintings. We can work on absolution. It's not my job to absolve you, bro. You gotta answer God about that shit. I'm just saying, Marty Weinberg, bro, everybody else I'm cool with. I'm cool with Mr. Yannetti, cool with Mr. Jackson, cool with Miss Little, Miss Eliza Little. I'm cool with Miss Melanie Little. I'm cool with Mr. Bob Alessi. I'm cool with the dog lady as far as I'm concerned. I'm cool with the ARCA people. I'm cool with everybody except for Marty Weinberg. We got to have a serious talk, Marty Weinberg, and I want those fucking paintings. All right, anyway, moving on. So, sometimes you just got to speak to people directly. You just got to be like, Marty Weinberg, listen, you're no Kathy Rumler. I just want the fucking paintings. I'm not trying to, take you, you know what I mean? Not trying to take you down. Just, want the fucking paintings. And just a little towel. It's like when I say to Broken Baker, I just want I just want Greenland. What's the matter? It's just fucking Greenland. What do you care, Broken Baker? Broken Baker's a little territorial about Greenland. I'm like, just give me Greenland, bro. What do you fucking care about Greenland? Broken Baker gets all mad. He won't give me Greenland. You don't understand. We're at kind of a stalemate. Broken Baker won't give me Greenland. I really want Greenland. Anyway, moving on. So this is prima facie evidence of video manipulation. Somebody tell Microdots, I want to have a talk with him. We can do a stream. He can come on here. We can do it we can pre-record it. But Brett, I'm a video editor. I know what I'm talking about. This is digitally manipulated, bro. I can see the person, the person was using up and down strokes, but with a fucking mouse. Bro, look what she did. Do you see how I'm doing it? I'm saying she. They zoomed all the way in, and then they fucking rendered it as a 1 pixel fucking brush stroke in the program, and then they just fucking did this, dude. They blended. Dude! Oh my God! I've proven it! I'm telling you, I can trace the fucking strokes of the blend. Look at my mouse. Dude, look at my mouse. They put a fucking blend box that's going to jump this way with him. And then this is edited. Oh my God. This is the smoking gun. Dude, I didn't realize last night at 1 a.m. how obvious this is. I'm going to keep going in circles. Listen, we got to tell people. You want to talk about red alert? I've never said red alert. Listen, I'm telling you right now, this is, even in the context of some of my Epstein reporting, this is the biggest thing I have ever found ever in my life. Dude, this was submitted to a court. I already know what's going to happen when we play this, dude. Listen, I don't know if I'm ready for the implications of this. Oh my God. I will, Karma Dharma. But I'm telling you, I'll look at it. But I'm telling you, like, it's obvious there's a lot of manipulation, but, like, this is a smoking gun, okay? Because, like, I'm telling you, I do a lot of, like, it's not like I do, like, this kind of work, but, like, when I want to, like, make one of those funny graphics of, like, you know, like Emily C., like, teaching the class or something, like, I have to, like, sometimes, like, get, like, a source image to get a headshot, and I have to do what's called, like, background removal. Like, when you do background removal, you have to actually, like, the AI can kind of, like, determine, like, a face and some hair. But, bro, it cannot, like, do it on, like, this kind of video. You have to, by hand, like, blend the blur. And I'm looking at where they did it. I see the stroke lines of the mouse. You have to left click on your mouse and drag the blend. That's all they did. They put a blur box that looks like it would have gone out here. They just got rid of it. And then at the edges where they have to be really careful, they tried to smooth it, it's called, and they fucking failed. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't believe, like, it's not like I'm over exaggerating. I'm telling you, this is dispositive. It's proof positive. I found it. That's not an artifact. Like, I need to talk to Mr. Jackson. I'm sorry. He was 100% right. It's not just that they were right. Dude, this is the most serious situation you could possibly imagine. Not only does it mean that that man framed Karen Reed with Proctor's help, it means that that man, like, had help in the form of someone who edited fucking evidence in a formal criminal trial and submitted it twice through Adam Lally. Adam Lally might actually go to jail. Do you understand that? Do you understand that Adam Lally could be jailed for this? I hope, like, do you all understand how bad this is? If Hank submitted this, Hank could be jailed. I'm not kidding you. You cannot do it. It's like, listen, these people are in a lot of trouble. If this is, I'm telling you, I know what I'm looking at. You can actually be jailed for submitting doctored evidence to a criminal trial. Not to mention the implications of this being the moment that someone potentially broke Karen's tail light in the Sally port and then planted it. Which means the dude they're protecting is the prime suspect. Bro, they're all going to go to jail. Dude, no wonder Deutsch is running for Norfolk DA. Dude, they're going to retry this case. That is the prime suspect. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, people are going to go to jail. Oh no. The implications of this, oh my God, it's astounding. It's fucking astounding. I can't even conceptualize the fallout from this. You don't understand. Oh my. Dude. It was a conspiracy. Like, I'm telling you, and it's a serious charge. This is not a joke. It was a murder trial. Oh my God. It was actually a cover-up. It wasn't just a cover-up. It was extensive. Accessory to murder. Oh my God. Oh my God. These people might go to jail. Oh my God. This was the big secret? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I prayed for guidance. And the guidance was to do what I've already been doing, which is just tell the truth. Unvarnished, and let the chips fall where they may. That's what I'm going to do. I don't really have anything else to say. We can watch the hearing at 3 p.m., but I don't have anything else to say. I don't know. Usually just have a flood of thoughts about things. I don't have any thoughts. And I don't feel sad. I feel disillusioned. And very disappointed. That's really scary. The words just won't come. I don't know what to tell you. What are you supposed to say? It wasn't until I saw the brushstrokes, you know? That's the most scary thing I've ever seen in my life. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. But I do. I believe it. I know what I'm looking at. I do my best to, sorry, it's going to pause for a second. I do my best to, keep a ferocious pace, you know? Keep doing the work. Because it gives me a lot of meaning in my life, and I know it helps you all. I've never felt my soul drain so quickly. Like, just drain. Like, I have this sort of like, I don't know, it's not like adrenaline, but I have this like, you know, like, it's like a battery source, I guess. It's more just like, it's like in here, you know, it like, kind of like, it's like an energy, you know, like, and it just kind of like makes my brain able to like say things. I don't know how to explain it. Last night, I was still in like this is big, and we have to confirm all of this, and I still don't know the identity of this man. But I was in my, like, this is important and another story, and like we got to get to the bottom of this. What I'm looking at in the light of day is so serious that it took some of the light from me. There's a heavy price. To look at what I'm looking at right now. The brush strokes on the blurring, the blur box. It's the most serious. It's not a transcript missing. It's not indicia of corruption. It is it's the June 23rd 72 tape from the White House. It's every smoking gun in one. It's the worst possible thing you can imagine. People are going to go to prison for a long time, like years and years and years, and they deserve it. Oh my God. Oh my God, Trooper Proctor. Accessory to murder. Oh my God. Dude, that means the people who edited the video obstructed a murder trial and their accessories after the fact to a murder. Oh my God. Oh my God, they left evidence of it. Oh my God. Why didn't you just cut this out? Why did you do this? Oh my God, they're fucking criminals. They're murderers. Oh my God. It was exactly what everyone said. I don't even know if Karen realized this though. Like this specific manipulation. Like I know they know it was edited, but I don't think they realized what this means. I'm dumbfounded. Oh my God. 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 It's really fucked up, man. It's really fucked up. So wrong. It's really fucked up. I'm alright. I'm alright. I'll do a post about it. It's really fucked up. It's so fucked up. You gotta get ready for the hearing anyway. That's really fucked up. I hate these people. It's really fucked up. See the line? You see it? And that's just brush strokes editing the fucking blur box. Oh, that's so fucking sad. Oh. Hi, my name is Grant Smith Ellis. I'm a journalist that covers the Karen Reed and John O'Keefe trial. I've been looking at this yellow discoloration of a figure that was clearly obfuscated around Karen Reed's taillight in the Canton PD Sallyport at 5:38 p.m. Eastern on 1/29/2022, roughly 11 to 16 hours after John O'Keefe's time of death. This unknown man, not only is the Sallyport video footage manipulated so that his appearance is just a pop-in that was not triggered by a motion event, but instead by a cut video, but this yellow box is actually a blur box. I have done the video analysis. You see the straight edges of the blur box down here. You see them, they actually overlap the bumper right here. They go up here, it stops here, and then it goes up above his head. There's another blur box, and then look at, you can see the brush strokes. Someone digitally edited this footage to prevent the public and others from being able to see this man walking away from Michael Proctor at Karen Reed's right rear taillight at 5:38 p.m. Eastern on that day. And if you take a look at this sort of specific set of lines, those are brush strokes to blur the blur box. So it's called blending. All someone did was go with a mouse with a very small DPI like stroke and take this and just blend it, and the whole figure is, it's actually blurred. This video was edited in post-production before it was submitted into the murder trial for Karen Reed, and it's prima facie evidence of felony obstruction of justice, and this is the prime suspect in the murder of John O'Keefe. And I'll let the video play for you. Look, so you can see the blur box, the back edge stays as he walks for a few frames. It stays with him, okay? And then look, the blur box just extends. It's not related to this pole at all. It's a blur box going with him, and the edges are kind of designed to blur his body. And then if you go one more frame forward, the blur box is gone, and you see a lurking figure standing there tall. And that lurking figure was obfuscated as he walked away from Michael Proctor, off screen to the right, at Karen Reed's right rear taillight. That is the prime suspect in the murder of John O'Keefe. My name is Grant Smith Ellis. All right, let's go to the Zoom hearing. It's going to start right at 3. I got the link. I'm going. Where is it? I have the number. I'm sorry, that was really hard. That was hard for Little Towel. You know what I mean? That was a shock to the system. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it, folks. I'm going to the Zoom. I needed a moment, you know. I was a sad little town. How can you not have a shock to the system with something like that, though? Okay, we all got to be quiet. We're going into the Zoom. I'm gonna be a tower reporter. I can do this. Why would they do a peach pie? To cover up the person who broke Karen Reed's tail light in the Sally Port and then sprinkled it on the scene. The actual person who killed John. All right, we have to do this hearing. Everybody pause. Everybody relax. Okay, I'm joining the hearing. Oh, we're not allowed to live stream. Okay, I got to end the stream. I'll record it and then come back later. Okay, no live streaming. I got to... Hello, I'm back. Hi. How's everybody doing? I have the recording. You want to see it? You can't see it right away because I got to upload the damn thing. All right, let's do it. And anyone else who has seen the email not to use it. Judge will take the matter under advisement. Recording coming shortly. All right, I got to combine the recording. I have it. Hello, I'm back. Mateo. All right, we can watch it. I wasn't allowed to live stream it, but I have it. I got to do some magic now. I got to combine it. I got to upload it. Then we can watch it. Everybody ready? Mateo. How you doing? How you doing? Mateo. All right, we got to go back again live on Twitter. Everybody relax. I'm back. I just watched the hearing. I have the recording for you. Give me 1 second. We're technically at part 14, part 2 over on Twitter, and I'm going to confuse people, but, you know, part 2. I got things to do. Everybody wants to see the hearing. All right, I got to get going. All right, is it doing its thing? No, it's not. Hold on. Give me a second. All right, let me get that going. Then I got to get this going. You don't understand. There's a lot of work to do. We'll be able to watch the hearing. Give me 1 second, little towels. I got to do what a towel's got to do. What a towel's got to do. All right, welcome back. Hello, towel friends. How's everybody doing? We're still on YouTube. We weren't able to broadcast the hearing. Judge did not permit that, but I have it for you. You're going to be able to watch it. You don't understand. I'm a little towel. I don't even have to put it into 2 parts for you. I have to combine it for the other people, but not for you because you all are special little towels. All right, how's everybody doing? I'm back. Who's ready to watch the hearing? You got it. I got an exclusive. It's just for us. We're little towels. I'm the only one who has it. Why am I the only one who has it? Because I'm a little towel. So you ready? You want to watch it? Everybody want to watch the Karen Reed hearing? No one has it but me. I'm a little towel. Everybody's so nice to me. I was in a mood earlier. Sorry, I had a bit of a moment. I had a towel moment. Everybody calm down. I had a towel moment. I'm okay now. All right, I got the hearing for you. Everybody ready to watch it? Everybody excited? Nicola is going to run around in circles. She doesn't even know what to do with herself. She's going to make some tea. She's a Nicola. All right, I got the hearing. Everybody ready? I got the hearing. He said no live streaming of it, but we were allowed to record it. Therefore, I recorded it. I have it for you. Everybody get ready. All right, tell your pets, tell your towels. Towel was crying a little bit earlier. I should probably take a break and go get some food after this. But, you know, then we'll come back later and do more sidebars and actual work, and I will try not to cry. I'm sorry, I was crying. I was a little towel. I was crying little towel. You know what I'm saying? All right, I got it for you. Everybody ready? Look at this. Everybody ready? Everybody excited? Okay, I got to tell people on Twitter that we have the Karen Reed hearing. Everybody ready? Your comments were occurring during the hearing. You don't understand. I literally put them up like during the recording, even though we weren't live. I just want Judge to know. Judge, we were not live. I promise you, Judge. Your Honor, we were not live. I am now live, but it's 3:27. I recorded the hearing live, but it didn't go live. I just want Judge to know. I was recording comments because it's this very complicated thing where you can leave the YouTube running if the encoder's not broadcasting. The point is, Your Honor, thank you for your service to the Commonwealth. I did not live stream. I recorded it, and now right after it ended, I'm going to play it for my audience. I followed the rules of the court. I'm registered media. I recorded it. Now I am sharing it. Okay, I did not live stream it. I promise. What that means is you can't stream it live. Okay, I am now playing the recording. I can prove it's a recording because it's playing off VLC Media Player. Everyone get on the same page. I followed the rules. Here is the moment I should tell people on Twitter. Everybody's going to be all excited because they didn't get to broadcast the hearing, and I'm a little town. All right, so let's go tell the people. We must tell the people. Okay. Okay, I have the entire Karen Reed and John O'Keefe civil hearing from today. It was the battle of Mark Diller for the O'Keefes and Damon Seligson for Karen Reed. Seligson went to bat and he did not miss. Watch live now. Okay? Everybody ready to see it? I know I'm teasing you. Towel. You're like, Tao, play the hearing, Tao. Play it. Okay, well, what about the people on Twitter? We got to let them know. Okay, there you go. I'm going to play it. Everybody ready? Everybody sit down. Let's do it.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. May I proceed?
Please.
Good afternoon, everyone. The matter before the court is civil action number 2483 CV00692. Paul O'Keefe, individually and personal representative of the estate of John Joseph O'Keefe III et al. Versus CNC Hospitality LLC et al. Your Honor, we have the parties present by way of Zoom. We have Attorney Diller for the plaintiff. We have Attorney Beaton for defendant CNC. We have Attorney Tang and Attorney Bell and Attorney Seligson, Attorney Rosenberg and Attorney Jackson present on behalf of Attorney Reed. Defendant Reed.
Good afternoon, counsel.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Attorney Diller and Attorney Seligson, a couple of general points. I purposely did not ask for you to provide me with the email in question so I could have the benefit of argument without knowing its content. However, to decide the issue of possible preclusion of any future use of the email for impeachment purposes, I think I will need to see the email. So I'll ask Attorney Seligson to provide to Clerk Donovan in a sealed envelope a copy of the email.
That's fine, Your Honor. We'll do that right away.
Okay, next, let's dispense with any back and forth on what the rules of professional conduct and claimed impropriety on the part of Attorney Diller. Attorney Seligson, I think your one Superior Court decision may not constitute sufficient case law for an attorney to understand their obligations under these unique circumstances. And let's all agree that the circumstances here are unique, just like they were in the Charm case. We can all agree that inadvertent disclosures usually involve an attorney producing in discovery a document that should not have been sent out. In this case, the disclosure involves a client. And Attorney Diller, let's also be aware that I see no reason not to credit Attorney Seligson's affidavit about blind copying his client being a one-time event. So what I see to be the questions here are, like Charm, whether Ms. Reed has shown that she and her counsel took reasonable steps to preserve the confidentiality of the communication, and two, even if the answers to interrogatories in the inadvertently shared email don't provide plaintiffs any additional areas of impeachment, as suggested by Attorney Seligson, what if future sworn statements of Ms. Reed in the email do? So let's try and tailor your arguments accordingly. So Attorney Seligson, it's your motion, so I'll hear from you first.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate the opportunity, and I think you synthesizing the issues really will cut to the chase here. You referenced the Charm case, Judge, and of all the cases that there are on inadvertent disclosure, and there are many in Massachusetts and there are many around the country, the Charm case could not be more on point. Judge Fabricant faced the exact same issue.
It's probably the only case about a client inadvertent disclosure in Massachusetts, right?
That is correct, Your Honor. I was not able to find anything else where, as you said, it's normally the lawyer who includes something in a batch of documents. or an outside service has included something in a batch of documents and the lawyer on the other side of the case gets that inadvertent disclosure. Here you have, in the advent of digital communications, you have an attorney in charm emailing opposing counsel, copying his co-counsel, blind copying his client. The client gets the communication intending only to respond to his lawyer, writes back to everybody through a reply all. Judge Fabricant explains how that can happen to anybody. And what she does is she analyzes whether or not the lawyer and the client acted expeditiously. And she uses the word, used maximum effort to recognize the error, address the error, try and reclaim the communication because it was not a voluntary disclosure. In that case, Judge Fabricant granted the motion to strike that email, agreed that there was no waiver because the lawyer, even though he had done that once before, he had blind copied his client and the client had replied all. And even though the lawyer in that case simply asked the receiving lawyer to delete, destroy, and not use the email, did nothing more. Months later, that email is attached to an exhibit, to a motion for summary judgment opposition, and suddenly the lawyer thinks he needs to move to strike. So the email really wasn't reclaimed in the same way we have done, in stark contrast to that case and those facts. I've sworn in an affidavit which you credit, Your Honor, and I appreciate that because it's sworn under oath, and I stand by it. This is a one-time event, one-time incident where Ms. Reed was blind copied. Inadvertently, she replied to all, not intending for anyone but her counsel to get that reply. That squares with charm. Immediately, my colleague Aaron Rosenberg reached out to Mr. Diller. That was 39 minutes later. Recognized there was a reply to all, recognized there was an inadvertent disclosure, demanded that it be deleted, destroyed, and not used. Mr. Diller said no, or didn't respond. I then reached out 44 minutes later, confirming, delete it, confirm you've deleted, don't use it, confirm you're not going to use it. Same thing, trying maximum effort to reclaim the privilege, to reclaim the inadvertent disclosure. We then had back and forth with Mr. Diller for a number of days. He refused to comply with us. We then served a motion. So we used the maximum effort. There was no pattern of behavior like this that you saw in Charm. There was maximum effort to reclaim it. So when you look at Judge Fabricant's analysis of the efforts by the client and her counsel, that we've done even more than Judge Fabricant allowed in granting the motion to strike. This is, by Attorney Diller, an opportunity which is evidenced in his opposition to our motion, Your Honor, where he actually goes so far as to make a sweeping allegation that he says that Ms. Reed and her team, in all likelihood, by her direction and or recommendation of counsel, has been blind copied on all email communications with opposing counsel since the outset of the lawsuit. That is an outrageously inaccurate statement. It doesn't even comply with Rule 11, where a lawyer signs his name to pleadings and certifies that he has a good faith basis to make such a claim. What that means is Mr. Diller is trying to take facts that don't exist, create this narrative of recklessness, which does not exist. Ms. Reed was blind copied once, replied all once, and trying to fit that squarely in to get around what Judge Fabricant says in her opinion, which is lawyers should not take the opportunity to use something like this as an inadvertent disclosure and take advantage of that. Your Honor, for the same reasons in Charm, you should rule that there was no waiver of the attorney-client privilege here. This was not a voluntary waiver. This was an inadvertent disclosure. This fits squarely with Charm. We've done more than the lawyer in Charm did. We've acted faster than the lawyer in Charm did. We've proven there was no pattern like there was in Charm. And Judge Fabricant still understood the importance of the most sacred of privileges, the attorney-client privilege, and did not allow those facts to erode it. And we asked you to reach the same conclusion, Your Honor. Regarding the impeachment value of this email, we'll provide you the email in camera as you have ordered, and you will see that it squarely fits with everything Ms. Reed has answered in the second interrogatory that was posed to her. So it has no impeachment value. The plaintiff's attorney was asked to return it. There's plenty of discussion in the rules of professional responsibility in the case law about returning an email that's been inadvertently disclosed. Judge Fabricant speaks about, to quote her, she says, as a matter of courtesy and in recognition of their own vulnerability, lawyers should avoid the temptation to seize opportunities arising from inadvertent disclosure. It's just, this should just end today. Mr. Diller should not be permitted to use it. He should not be permitted to disseminate it, and it should be destroyed. We've done everything we can to reclaim it, and I rest on those on those cases, Your Honor.
So you argued in your papers, and you just argued now about impeachment relative to the answer to interrogatory and the email. But what about in the future, if there were some statement under oath by your client?
Your Honor, there will not be a statement under oath that the email can be used for impeachment purposes. Mr. Diller
we hope not, because we're all, as lawyers, tell our clients that they can't commit perjury, but not all our clients listen to us all the time. At least my clients didn't always listen to me. So just the possibility of that in the future.
I understand, but I think that answer will be very clear for Your Honor once you see what is in the email and you compare it with what is in the interrogatory answers. I have to tread lightly because I don't want to say anything about the email, but you will see that once you read the email and you compare it with the interrogatory answers, if there was something inconsistent with the interrogatory answers, then sure, then Mr. Diller can use that for impeachment purposes. But the email itself has no impeachment value once you look at it with the interrogatory answer. There have been 2 interrogatories served on Ms. Reed. The second one asks her, and we suggested that to Mr. Diller because we were going back and forth about whether or not her first interrogatory answer he thought was needed clarification or expansion. So we suggested to him, ask another interrogatory about stating the basis for the affirmative defense in the answer to the complaint, which states somebody else was responsible for the death of John O'Keefe. In response to that interrogatory answer, we have, with Ms. Reed, assisted her, and she has signed her interrogatory answer that is consistent with what's in that email. So there's no impeachment value. He can use the interrogatory answers. What we're trying to avoid is him making the argument that somehow she has waived the privilege and he can use the email. There's no basis for it, and I think the in-camera review will answer that question squarely for you, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Attorney Diller?
Your Honor, thank you. I want to address first and foremost what was just raised, which is the reply brief. I think it's noteworthy that counsel for the defense did not file this motion under seal. In fact, they attached a reply brief that says verbatim, comparing this answer to the privilege communication demonstrates that there are no areas for impeachment unique to the privilege communication. And then they add as an attachment to that email the answer to interrogatory under oath statement signed by Karen Reed, all of which, given what's happened in this case, has been picked up in the news and become part of the public domain. The law's privilege is waived when its contents become public. Counsel to the extent that there may have been a privileged communication when the email, to which I did not disseminate, chose to put its contents directly into a public filing and attach the answer to interrogatory to which Attorney Sellison just communicated to you, stands for the same issues and the same facts are lying. Now, I appreciate that Your Honor wants to look at this in camera. I would say to you that I'm not really sure why we are here at this point, given that I understand why it was served. I did not disseminate it based on an agreement that I had with them, but I did point out case law why I believed that I could use it.
It was actually a court order from judge why you didn't disseminate it, Mr. Diller. I read the judge's order.
To impeach credibility, given that there were other statements that I believed to be inconsistent with that. And then I understand after I served my opposition, why then it would be filed. But I didn't understand why there was no attempt by counsel to seek an in-seal filing of this together with the answer to interrogatory and/or an in-camera on all of it. I feel as if in Judge Fabricant's 2010 order, she's very clear that she says, a client who seeks to preserve the privilege has the responsibility to be careful, particularly when using a means of communication that poses known and obvious risks. Lawyers should advise clients to be careful and avoid practices that exact those risks. And then Fabricant gives a public warning to the bar in general. It says, others should take note. Reply all is risky, so is BCC. Further carelessness may compel a finding of waiver of privilege. That was 16 years ago. The world and technology has advanced. We have all become more sophisticated with way to deal with it. We were also relying on an MCLE, which was written by a gentleman who was with the BBO, that says an argument could be made that privilege is now waived when a client replies all to something that they were copied on. That just deals with the first issue, which I think the whole thing has been waived regardless of how you interpret Fabricant's decision. But the second issue, as it relates to impeachment, we have the late, great Judge Gantz, who wrote an opinion. We have Justice Kaplan, who both issued opinions. Both suggest you can't unring the bell. I identified that there were inconsistent statements in the email that was provided to me before anybody tried to recall it or advise me that that was intended as a client confidential communication. I then said, I'm not intending to disseminate it, but I do believe in arguments made that she's waived it, and I more so think it's significant that should she give inconsistent testimony moving forward, it certainly has impeachment value, which has been borne out by Justice Gantz, Justice Kaplan's Superior Court decisions that talk about the impeachment value of it. So ultimately, I stand by the position that, for starters, I believe that they have waived the any privilege that may have existed in the communication by publicly disseminating the contents of it. And then secondarily, I have every right to use it for impeachment purposes as we move forward in this litigation. Your Honor, I rest on the papers as it relates, or will answer any questions that Your Honor has.
Your Honor, may I respond?
Sure, go right ahead.
Your Honor, the notion that a litigant would be served with an interrogatory, answer the interrogatory under oath, and then somehow be deemed to have waived the privilege is preposterous. What I am arguing is, for impeachment value, there is none. And once you are able to see the email and compare it with the interrogatory answer, you will make that decision for yourself, I am confident. But if Mr. Diller served us with a motion and we served him with a motion and he attached signed interrogatory answers, or we attached signed interrogatory answers that had been served in the normal course, there's no waiver of the privilege. That's just not a valid argument. Secondly, Mr. Diller cites two cases in his brief, which is referenced today. Those cases actually stand for the proposition that there has been no waiver. The cases that he cites to, the Mirror Inc. versus O'Brien, the court found that Judge Gantz found that there was no waiver of the attorney-client privilege with an inadvertent disclosure. The case that he cites to in his brief, and he mentions as well, this is Judge Kaplan, Vigor Works versus Scansa. Judge Kaplan finds there was no waiver. Your Honor, again, this is desperation. It's an inadvertent disclosure. We've done everything we can to prove to the court under the reasonableness standard that Judge Fabricant lays out in Charm. It's the same fact pattern, same conclusion should be reached. Ask your court to allow the motion that the privilege has not been waived in part or in whole whatsoever, and that Mr. Diller, his clients, and anyone else who has had a look at that email be ordered not to be able to use it. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, thank you. I'll take the matter under advisement.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you all. This matter is under advisement. This matter has a next date of March 5th, 2026 at 3 p.m. for the Rule 16 conference. Thank you all.
My name is Grant Smith Ellis. You have just watched the Karen Reed civil hearing. I will upload this now. Hey, that was great, right? That was me. I'm a little towel. How's everybody doing? You want me to give you a summary of what happened? I could tell you what happened. We got to write a post up, though. We got to tell the world about what happened. So what we'll do is we'll do one of the infamous sort of towel things where I bring up the post and I show you how I type a post. Then I kind of like, here's the frustrating thing. If you're going to cover news, I think you should be well aware. I mean, I'm just giving you a general warning. You should be well aware, like, horrifying things happen. You can react to them. It's okay. But, like, you have to immediately be able to get back in the zone, or, like, you're not doing your work for the people you're supposed to be serving. Like, if you are emotionally not able to cope with intense developments, don't get into the news world. Like, you have a duty to the people you're trying to help. Don't screw around. So anyway, I'm sorry for my reaction earlier. I have a duty to you, even if I am emotionally processing something that is intense. For those of you who are just tuning in, there is new video that not new video, but newly analyzed video that absolutely confirms that the Sallyport video at 5:38 p.m. on 1/29/2022 was manipulated to intentionally, through specific post-production manipulation, hide. Hold on. I'm going to close one of my programs. Yeah, there we go. To hide the identity of an unknown man walking away from Michael Proctor and Karen Reed's tail light. It's so damning. It's so horrifying. It is perhaps one of the worst things I've ever come across in my career. And I need, even though that happened, I still have a duty to you all. And we can talk about all of this later. I still have a duty to you all to kind of like stay in the zone, be an erudite, informed, and cogent little towel, and make sure that this representative democracy lives to fight another day. Yes, I refuse to just give up on the project of American democracy because people infiltrated every element of our system, and they were clearly very malicious. All right, so let's begin. Here is the cleaned up version. Give me 1 second. All right, so let me show you how I do my tweets. All right, I like to tweet. I do it like this. All right. Oh, by the way, if you're new to the stream, if you like that hearing, this is a public information service. It's designed to educate, inform, and entertain the wider public. I use entertainment as a hook to engender cogent public discourse and ward off the usurpation of our representative forms of government worldwide. This kind of user-driven public information service could not exist without the support of viewers like you. I'm able to do the car rental I need every day because of you. I'm a disabled person who happens to be trained classically in philosophy, and I also went to law school, but I am not a lawyer. I'm happy to help you understand the cases you're watching. I'm happy to teach you how to do different video analysis, but your support is incredibly important. When I have less anxiety and I can afford my car rental for the next day until I get my new, the car that's mine, there's a lot going on. My mother is very close, apparently, to Michael Proctor's family. I now understand why was tormented so much. I was never supposed to figure out that Karen Reed was framed. It has nothing to do with one side versus the other, trying to appease either of them. That's not what I'm interested in. I want to know why bad things happen to good people, and I want to figure out exactly how to stop it and reform it systemically. So we have a little meter on the screen today. I almost have enough for my car rental tomorrow and a little bit of food. I will do more work with you today. I'll write up this post. We'll do a little bit of sidebars. Then I'm going to take a dinner break. We have this thing where I'm on the spectrum, right? So not only am I physically disabled, it's complicated. I had a surgery. I have a big scar. It's not good. But anyway, I am on the spectrum. So if you just leave me to my own devices, I will just work all the time, just on one thing, and I won't do anything else. I won't eat. I won't it's bad. So I have to learn how to take breaks to eat. It's executive function issues. But anyway, you can support this stream. There's a Cash App, $, Grant Smith Ellis. There's a Venmo at Grant-E1. And for our international towel friends, paypal.me/Grant Ellis. If you have any questions, just ask the wonderful folks in the chat. But donations are not the only way to help. Please don't donate if it would be a burden on you, yourself, or your family. If it would cause you not to be able to eat, I wouldn't like that. But yes, we go day to day here. I let you know when I need help. So let's keep going. Let's build that up. And God bless you for your support. And furthermore, you can also help by liking the stream while it's live, subscribing to the channel. There's lots of good ways to get this public information service out there. I cover everything from the Epstein files to the Karen Reed case to the Sandra Birchmore case and how it's all connected. It's kind of like reading or listening or watching James Joyce's Finnegan's Wake adapted for the modern era, but instead of the River Laffey, it's the River Charles, and it's Boston and its environs, and I like to take you like a commodious vicars of recirculation on a journey through these various primary source documents, and your support enables me to do so. You might be saying, oh my dear God, this man is like an entire news network into of himself, and there's some Monty Python in there. Who is he? Well, I'm a journalist. I'd like to do my work. I have a passion for it. It's like a vocation. I'm thrilled that you're with me today. All right, God bless you. 5 gift memberships. Congratulations to Hippie Chick and Pauly D. Oh, Pauly D is wonderful. You don't understand. Pauly D and I are like Irish brethren, okay? We're going to work with Erica, and now Erica's a little mad because I sandbagged Barry the other day, but you got to do what you got to do. But anyway, the point is we're going to invade Northern Ireland. Not literally, perhaps literally. I think more figuratively, but we're going to reclaim Northern Ireland for its rightful owners, the great people of Ireland. And also, Charlie Rochelle, she's wonderful, or they are wonderful. They were chatting last night. And Scorpio Unicorn 14, congratulations, as well as Boston Lisa. There you go. Wonderful. The Venmo, hold on. Someone asked for the Venmo because we're trying to get towel to, a little bit for food, and then I'm going to take my dinner break after we write this up, and then we do a little more sidebahs. All right, so the Venmo is going to be dropped in the chat. It is at Grant E1. Okay, God bless you for the person who asked for that, and I promise I will look down at my phone as I'm doing my work here. And I also want to say a super towel thank you to Miss Upper Thigh. Miss Upper Thigh was talking earlier about how they found the channel in recent days. God bless you for gifting memberships to your fellow towels. They're going to have super towel emojis now. You just click the little emoji button at the bottom. There's towel emojis. There's an emoji of Chloe the dog in a wig who's innocent. Listen, do you see Chloe the dog in a wig in that video in the Sally Port? If the answer is no, then Chloe the dog in a wig didn't do anything wrong. All right? Free Chloe, ladies and gentlemen. I have made my atonements, okay, for a lot of things that I was blinded to. I think we all owe Chloe an apology, unless that is a dog on 2 legs that looks like a man in a sweatshirt with a logo on the back that's white. at 5:38 p.m. in the Canton Police Sallyport, if the answer is no to that question, and that is not a dog, okay, listen, I understand Chloe's like a boss dog, but does that look like Chloe? No, that is not Chloe the dog. Like, that would have been a little bit too much video editing. That is a man, okay? Chloe the dog is free. She did not do it. I'm telling you, she didn't do it. Now, you know, I think they did. I think that man took cut up pieces of taillight and hey, everybody's starting to understand. Grant and Peep, thank you, Grant, and the chat for answering my questions. Oh, you have great questions, Bunny B. Now, listen, I need to be serious for a second because I think I actually have a theory as to what happened. First of all, let me write to Bunny. God bless you for your support, Bunny B. You are a super towel. And if you're wondering what Bunny's talking about, this is Pete Bunny Towel. He's a big European soccer fan. He also hates the commies. So every time, like, at the end of the stream, Bunny shows up, Pete Bunny Towel comes over. Now, listen, Bunny, he was talking to me earlier, and he wanted to show you his scarf. Okay, so he has this scarf from a game that I went to. He wasn't alive back then. He's a Pete Bunny Towel. But it was between Holland and Sweden. It was and Robin's last game. So Pete Bunny Towel just wanted to let you all know that he loves Bunny very much, okay? And he's a Pete Bunny Towel. And also, he has a nice scarf. And he hates the commies. Oh, Lynn, you're so kind. See, this is Pete Bunny Towel. Everybody remembers Pete Bunny Towel. Like, he only pops up once a stream. But, like, how am I going to, like, not bring him on when Bunny B, as I'm about to talk about something important, which I will still do. But how am I not supposed to be like, oh, my goodness, it's Pete Bunny Towel. You got to mention in the super chat. Do you understand? Is that that is not communism. Okay, all right. Listen, he's very upset at me because he's accusing me of communism. Do you understand? He's so anti-communist, he thinks super chats are communism. That is the antithesis of communism. Is Bunny B, like, running a state-sponsored, like, commune? No. Bunny B is, like, a towel. You know what I'm saying? That checks out. Okay, he's changed his opinion. But the point is, he was literally going to accuse me of communism. He's in a mood. I think he can feel my energetic levels. You know the Monty Python thing I mentioned earlier? Yeah, this is the Monty Python part. He's a Pete Bunny Towel. Like, instead of doing skits where Plato and Socrates and Kant run around on a soccer field and discuss whether they should kick a ball, this is Pete Bunny Towel. You summon him, and I'm in the right mood, I will bring him over. He hippity hops over to me. He wears a little scarf. He's a cute little towel. And then he says things about communism. All right. Now, you're going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? All right. Listen. He doesn't like communism. Like, he's vociferously anti-communist. Like, you may as well call him Charles William Wiley. Like, he is so anti-communist. I'm worried he's going to, like, go to the country of China and, like, become like Super Pete Bunny Towel and just overthrow the Communist Party. All right? He's that anti-communist. So, if you're a communist, like, stay away from him. He gets a little mad. He gets a little ornery about communism. All right, let's write this up. New. Okay, here is the full recording of today's John O'Keefe and Karen Reed civil hearing that I am calling the Battle of Mark Diller and Damon Seligson. I'm going to spell this name wrong. Oh no, it's doing that thing where it can't type as fast as I want to talk. So basically in that hearing, it was about Karen Reed sending an incidental email to her to opposing, like, legal counsel, and then Mark Diller just wouldn't return it, and Damon Seligson, who's Karen's lawyer, was really mad. To say Seligson, what's the word? What's a good S word for, like, I don't want to say he slayed, because, like, it's not the 1500s, and slayed has this, like, youthful, like, connotation these days. It's weird. Like, he didn't slay a dragon. He slayed a dragon metaphorically, but the word slay is so weird today. Like, kids ruin the fucking word slay. I'm so pissed about that. Like, it has a literary purpose. Now it sounds like a fucking, like, meme, bro. Stay away from my archaic words, you children, you memers. All right, so let me think here. What did Seligson do? He, like, eviscerated him, but, like, That's not an S word. I need like he didn't ensorcel him. Can you tell no one should have taught me the word ensorcel, because now I want to put it in every single article that I write. He like, what did he do? He sautéed him, but that's an inappropriate, it's like a sardonic reference. This calls for something more formal. Do I really need to do alliteration here? I kind of want to. Seligson with another S word. To say Seligson served Diller with a dish of... No, that's way... Grant, you're being gratuitously literary. To say Seligson overwhelmed Diller regarding Karen Reed's inadvertent email disclosure was an understatement. Judge took the matter under advisement and will review the email in camera, but I don't think Diller had much of a legal leg to stand on, and it seemed as if Diller was being petty for no reason at his peril regarding an email that very clearly should have been destroyed the second Karen's counsel told Diller it was sent by accident. See what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta write it up. Oh, somebody sent a donation. Hold on, I'm going to the donation. Oh, God bless you. You are so kind, Miss Upper Thigh. God bless you. I'm going to the donation. Oh, no, stop doing it. Listen, I'm not getting into negotiations with educational institutions about art right now. I do not... Listen to me. I'm not answering that call. I do not care about, like, that right now. I really do not care. They're so intent on... They're so mad that, like, I just won't stop. They want... Like, someone offered me, like, not millions, but they were, like... They were, like, indirectly, like, wouldn't you want millions? I was like, no. No, stop it. I'm not answering. Stop it. I hate money. Like, people think just because they have money, I will answer their call. Bro, the more money you have, the less likely I am to answer your call. You know the calls I answer? Community activists who have no money and just a good idea. I want wealthy people to learn their money means nothing. Go buy a hot dog and watch a game. I'm not talking about you all out there. I'm talking about, like, the very wealthy political donors who are mad at me that I won't just stop, like, ruining their social, like, strata. I'm like, nah, I dislike you all. It's kind of fun. You know what I'm saying? They get all mad. I don't get mad. I get even, juridically. I petition my government for redressing my grievances. I might use this time not even to do sidebars before dinner. We'll go till about 5, then I'll do my dinner break. Then we'll come back from like 6 to whatever. I kind of liked doing the later stream last night, but we'll see how I'm feeling. So I'm going to upload this hearing. We'll watch it upload together. Once it uploads, I'm going to show you a video, okay? A lot of you who maybe followed this channel back in the day are going to be very surprised by what you see on this video. We need to have a serious talk about it. I need to show you sort of what's going on. I'm not going to do it in context again. Just watch the stream from the beginning. So God bless you, Justice. It's so good to see you. Yes, the rental car today was extended through tomorrow, and I think we're at like 70. So I think I'm like $8 away from the rental car for tomorrow. Then I'm going to try to make a little bit for dinner, and then I'm going to take a dinner break and come back. You know, obviously we're basically there. So if I extend the rental car like now, then I'll go later tonight. We'll do the stream tomorrow. We have 3,000 pages of Sidebahs, to finish. My goal is to get through at least 1,000 pages of them tonight after dinner. We're going to do the entire Michael Proctor direct and then the entire Michael Proctor cross from the beginning. That's June 10th, 2024 after Barrows. Then that's like 160 pages. Then we're going to go to the next day. I think they take a day off, so we're going to go to the next day. Alan Jackson resumes his cross, and we're going to go through all that, and then we're just going to see where it takes us. So Michael Proctor's testimony goes for a while. We're going to be sidebar hunting, and yeah, absolutely, Nikki Undercover, you get some rest. You know where we will be. We will be here. We will be working. We will be being little towels. All right, so as you can see, like, there is an upload going on. So the only reason I'm not like showing you the video that I want to show you is I want this to upload first. This is the actual full hearing. You're going to be able to see it on the Twitter. Okay, you're going to be able to see the full hearing. I combined both parts. What I did for you was, before the rest of the world got it, I took the like raw clips and I just played them for you back to back. But you never want to do an upload as two segmented clips. Like, it's always better to just take the 10 minutes to upload the source clips, combine them into one. Never use like a local program on your PC. Like, always upload them to like a service in the cloud, like Canva, whatever. Combine them. You don't need to do a 4K rendering either. Combine them into 1080p as one file, and then upload the full file. Like, don't ever break a hearing into two parts. That's like not a useful thing. People don't want to watch two video files. Make it one, upload it. So I'm going to upload this to Twitter, and then you'll see I'm going to upload it to YouTube. And what's kind of cool is, although I wasn't live, I actually recorded the hearing that people are going to be able to watch with the like software running. So YouTube wasn't showing anything. It was just like buffering, but the chat feed kept going. So I was updating people in the chat without being live, recording, and then after we finished, we watched the hearing together, which was kind of interesting. Like, I can adapt on the fly. So like when I saw a judge put up the thing that said no live streaming, but you can record, I just instantly ended both live streams, recorded it, and then played it back. You got to work on the fly. I think somebody got in trouble like a few weeks ago because it very clearly said no live streaming. Like, recording, okay, no live streaming. And I don't know if it was like 7 News or somebody. They like recorded it, they live streamed it, and I was like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. So now Judge like made it very clear what the rules are. And Towel knows how to follow the rules. Hard start. That's it. Hard start. It's actually edited. That's it. Hard start. Hard start. I hate to do this, but like, I have to remove you because you're trolling. She gone. Bye, Heartstar. I'll miss you. Everybody say bye, Heartstar. It was so good to have you here, but as soon as you started trolling for Kpeta, you know the rules. No being discriminatory, no being derogatory, no gaslighting, no sea lining, no Kate Peters. Everybody say goodbye to Heartstar. They had a great run. But as soon as I realized they were trying to sabotage the channel because they're upset that the Sallyport video being edited is indicative of a major cover-up that's going to send multiple people to prison, they had to get banned. You know, they got bye, Heartstar. Look at all your friends saying bye to you. You can't say bye back because you're banned now. You're dealing with someone who's been on the internet for like 30 years, so I'm going to troll you. I'm going to troll you mercilessly, and I don't care. I don't care who's watching. I don't care what's going on. I'm just troll you. Don't ever do that in my chat again. Tell your people to talk to my people. The answer's still no. In fact, you don't have any people, and even if you did, they couldn't talk to my people. You could have Hank Brennan talk to me. I'd still tell him Heartstar can't come back to my channel. I'd be like, Hank, I actually have a lot of fucking questions for you now. Speaking of that, no, I think I know why Hank Brennan didn't want to have coffee with me or email me back or ever like try to talk to me at all outside of saying I could call him Hank. Oh, Hank, I have so many questions. I have so many questions. Listen, when Bunny B is like cheering on Heartstar getting removed, you know we took out a troll. You know what I'm saying? I am hilarious. All right. So, we're waiting for the... Oh, it's uploaded! Yay! I get to post it now. Okay, everybody ready? Okay. Do I want to put a siren emoji there? I kind of want to put a siren emoji. It was a good recording. I've been speaking in a southern drawl. Someone... first of all, I don't think the person who compared me to Forrest Gump understood that movie is about the Bible. So I've just kind of been talking with a Southern drawl. I can't do the Alabama drawl. So it's just like, I've heard it, Lynn Britain, I think, said it's like basically like a Virginia drawl, which, like, I'm fine. I could be from the Appalachian Mountains. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, I had Miss Upper Thigh rolling last night, which is hilarious. All right, so there you go. Now, let's do something a little more serious, all right? Let's continue our towel investigation. Heartstar's just going to be fuming because they can't post nothing. And I'm going to be like teaching the people about what Heartstar didn't want me to talk about. And then I'm going to be like, she's going to be like, you trolling. I'm going to be like, no, I'm not trolling. You trolling, all right? I'm not Boxy. I'm not trolling. You trolling. You know what I'm saying? I am adorable, though. I'm cute. You know what I'm saying? People think I'm cute. I think I'm cute. I'm adorable and intelligent. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's do it. So, I'm going to mute this. Okay, ready? Now, that is our suspect. Now, we're going to go to point 2. That is our suspect. The lunking, hulking figure. That is our suspect. We want him. We want to find him and ask him questions juridically by petitioning the government. Okay, that is our suspect. We don't know exactly who he is. Okay? Oh, the vote is 89% Damon Seligson. Who won the battle of Mark Diller and Damon Seligson? 89% Seligson. I don't think Mark Diller won that one. All right, so this is going to play slowly. You're going to see Alan Jackson kind of like asking questions while it's paused. Eventually, you're going to see this figure, okay, who is our mystery man, move out of the frame, okay? He's going to follow the dude whose leg was hanging out over here. If you missed earlier, the dude's leg was hanging out. Anyway, that dude's walking off screen. This dude is our mystery man. We got to ask Richie who the mystery man is. If he thinks it's who I think it is, bruh, oh my goodness, it's a problem. All right, so anyway, you see mystery man, he's gone. Now watch Michael Proctor. See his little head over here? It's going to move. Michael Proctor's near the tail light. That's the back right tail light. Dude, this is a serious cover-up. Look, that's Michael Proctor turning away from the camera, and then he's walking out. That's Michael Proctor. Now he's off camera too, following the mystery man. All right, now the mystery man. No, look at it. We're going to watch this at 0.25 speed on what I call the box zoom. All right, so this is a box zoom. Now remember, there is a man, just for your context here, so 11:33. I just want to run this back, okay, would you mind? There is a man, okay, watch this orientation here. This is Michael Proctor. We're running back like maybe 30 seconds before the footage you just watched. Okay, this man slips. Look at Michael Proctor. It's just him. He walks over behind the car near the right rear tail light. Now, look at the man in the front. That is not our mystery man. Okay, I want you to watch the man in the front. Now, Michael Proctor's back there. He's a little Bob. All right, he's a little Bob. Now look at this man. He's not the mystery man. He's the man at the car door. Now, watch what happens. Alan Jackson's pausing the question now to ask Yuri Buchanan questions on cross, pausing the video. Now, mind you, there's some anomalies with this video. We read the sidebar, got turned over in EXE format. It's 5 minutes and 51 seconds long, but the actual recorded time is like 17 minutes and 48 seconds. Miss Eliza Little, eat your heart out. I remembered that by heart. She's going to be like, wow, this dude's impressive. We should talk to him. I know. I'm trying to go to... Listen, I told Alan Jackson via stream yesterday, we can have lunch in a McDonald's. Anyway... Listen, do you know how fucking funny it would be if, like, I made Eliza Little and Alan Jackson and Karen Reed have lunch with me in a McDonald's? Position, juxtaposition. When you are this intelligent, situational irony is the only thing that makes you laugh. And trolling people in the comments in real time. And then Kyle being like, Grant, you troll people in real time. That's hilarious. And me being like, I know you participate in it. Anyway, all right, back to the serious stuff. All right, so... orientation for our analysis. All right, everybody, look at this man. That is what I call the man who's going to have the stuck leg. That's the man with the stuck leg. Now, you might be saying, does he have a peg leg? No, his leg doesn't get stuck in the ground. It's, first of all, where did you get this? Oh, I understand. No one actually said it was a peg leg. I just made that up and started arguing with the hypothetical. The point is, it's not a peg leg. All right, listen to me. I'm in a mood. Oh, dear God. Listen to me. That is not a peg leg. Watch the man walk off the screen. He has a frozen leg. We call it the mysterious leg. Okay, it's just Alan Jackson called the third man, the Hulk Hogan of this situation. If you're a wrestling fan, the mystery man, he called him an apparition. We're gonna call the leg I don't know what the fuck to call it, the stuck leg. Okay, the mystery leg. All right, the mystery man is different than the mystery leg. Now watch what happens with the man's leg. Okay, the man. All right, let's be serious for a second. 2 important anchor points. One, the Commonwealth, Adam Lally, has vociferously claimed, how do I know this? Because I've been reading the sidebars, that leading up to this point, this video, the reason it's so awkwardly sort of interpolated when we see the next few frames, is that it's motion activated. So therefore, the reason there's a weird jump cut is only because there was a new motion activation. Nonsense. We've just seen like 20 seconds of activity. The way motion activation works on these type of cameras, the motion event happens, it records a predetermined amount of time, probably like 15 seconds. If more motion happens in that time, it extends the end time. Okay, that's what the point of a motion activated camera is, bro. It starts based on a trigger point. You have a set algorithmic length of the recording. It continues if there's motion. Okay, you see what I'm saying? It just pushes the end time by 15 seconds every time there's new motion. It doesn't start a new recording every time there's new motion. How fucking stupid would that be? How stupid would that be? You just have fucking 100 million JPEGs every time somebody moved. That is not the point. Although technically a movie is just a bunch of fucking still images recorded a lot per second, but we're not getting into that. The point, that is a distinction without a difference. That's semantics. My point is, look at this, okay? That is very clearly, okay? Very, very clearly a man moving, okay? Now what you're going to see is he's going to leave the screen. All right, look at him leave the screen, okay? There is no reason for a new trigger event to happen because no new trigger event happens. He just walks off screen. Now watch how we know it's him. I'm going to show you a zoomed up version later. I need you to see the full context. Watch his trail leg. Look at the leg. That's his fucking leg. That is his trail leg. Nothing has happened between when that dude leaves the frame and when this magical mystery man, okay, he's not a Beatles-like performer, he's not in Sgt. Pepper's, he's just a magical mystery man, shows up out of nowhere, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Lynn Britton says I have adopted a Virginian drawl. I don't know what to do about it. Oh, I know why. It was because the glare came in yesterday. Oh my God, I definitely have like ADD. But the point is, the glare came in yesterday, and he was like, he said something that made me want to bring up one of my favorite books, which is The Rise and Fall of the British Empire. And then I was like, oh yeah, like I taught him about how the name for Virginia, which used to be like the whole eastern seaboard of the U.S., was actually like a pun on a virgin maidenhead. And then I started talking in a Virginian accent. So I don't know, blame the glare or this book or some combination of the two. And or my proclivity for trolling to the point where I adopt an accent. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, so my point is, that's this mystery man's leg. All right, we don't really know why the man has a mystery leg, okay? But we have a mystery man leg, okay? Then that's a different entity than this mystery man, okay? Now look at this box. I want you to pay attention on the zoomed out view to this yellow box. From the naked eye, okay, especially from like 50 feet away on a screen, it's really nothing but like a pixelation. But that's not what it really is, because I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to show you what made me cry earlier. I've composed myself. I'm going to try to do this, all right? Yes, I do have to go get a cheeseburger at 5 o'clock. Okay, we're going to take a break, then I'm going to come back, all right? Because every day we got to do this. We raise funds for Tao. We help Little Tao. I help educate the public. All right, everybody on the same page. God bless all of you for supporting me. All right, here we go. So we're at 70 out of 125 for tomorrow's fun, which is technically tonight's fun plus tomorrow's fun. Then I'll extend my rental. Then I'll be happy. We're right on the verge. I literally have $0 to my name. It's sad. That's what happens when you report the truth. They starve you out. But that's all right. I could just walk around the countryside in a row preaching to people. Be like, Jesus Christ is wonderful. And people would be like, here's some food. I'm pretty sure that's how priests became a thing, you know what I'm saying? But, like, I can't be a priest. I wanted to go to seminary, but, like, you really don't want to be a disabled priest. You're a burden on the church for life. I was going to go to Rome and be in the Curia. I really wanted to reform Canon 904B. Like, Pope Francis did it, but, like, I didn't like Cremae and Solicitationes. And I was like, bro, like, what are we doing here? You know, we can't have violations of the sacrament of penance being reported internally to the Congregation of the Doctrine of Faith. That makes no fucking sense. Anyway, I never got to do that. So now I help you all. So anyway, that artifact is not a fucking artifact. We're going to come to find out. Wait till you see the zoom in. That's our mystery man. Look at his obfuscated figure right here. This is not just a edited piece of footage. His whole presence in the scene initially is manipulated out. And then when he does appear, because for some reason they couldn't hide this part, this man's leg stays on the screen as this man walks. Okay? We're going to see it as I zoom in. And then we get like 1 or 2 frames of the mystery man. All right? Not in good lighting, by the way. That's why they waited for him to get over here, because he's basically out of the Sally port, and there's no artificial lighting on his fucking face. All right? So now Alan Jackson's going to hang the video for a second, and you're going to see what we then are going to analyze close up, which ends up being the smoking gun and all this, and it's such a big deal. I don't even know what to do about it. I was literally crying on camera earlier. It was very traumatizing. I wouldn't say it was as traumatizing as the doggy video. Oh God, we don't need to talk about the doggy video. I blame the DOJ. Damn doggy video. I haven't been able to look at Epstein videos for 4 days because the DOJ traumatized me. Goddamn DOJ. Traumatizing little town. That's a jump cut too. Oh, naughty, naughty. Naughty, naughty. That's a jump cut. Oh, no. Watch this. We're going to go back like 2 seconds. That's a jump cut. As Proctor goes to follow him out. Ready? Watch. There's a jump cut. Dude, that's a jump cut. Oh! Oh, my word. Oh, my word. They edit. Dude, Proctor was messing with the tail light. Oh, my God. Oh! Oh! Watch this jump cut. Look at the door over here. Watch the jump cut. Dude's leaving. See his legs? Watch the jump cut. Ready for it? Jump cut! Oh! Oh my God! He was doing something behind that car and they cut it. Oh, it was a jump cut. Oh, and they thought that I wouldn't notice because the head itself doesn't really move. But look at that fucking door. Oh, this is bad. Oh, it was Michael Proctor and whoever that mystery man was. Oh, Michael Proctor might have been actually an accessory to murder. Oh, boy. Look at this jump cut. I've never seen something like this blatant in my life. Oh, my word. What a jump cut. Look at this. So this is where you are. Like, look at the full scene. I didn't notice this because my eyes were so focused over here. Look at this door. Watch what happens when the mystery man walks away after being near the right rear tail light with Michael Proctor. Watch Michael Proctor's head. Okay, now watch this door. Watch the door. You see that jump cut? That was not a shift in lighting, bro. That was a jump cut. There was a bunch of shit that happened between when this dude walked away from Proctor. Okay, he's an important part. But then look at the jump cut. Dude, he changes locations. Oh, he changes directions. He's standing. Oh, this is such a problem. Oh, my God. Oh, this is the smoking gun of this case. The whole video. We need this raw file. Oh, my word. Somebody tell Microdots. Look at this. You can miss it so easily because your eyes are looking at the activity. Look at this door. Watch this door. Watch. Well, first of all, let's start over here. Let's focus back towards the people. Look at Michael Proctor's head in the next few frames. Watch the jump cut. Watch when this guy walks off screen. Watch jump cut. Oh, he changes directions. Oh, my God. Oh, fuck me. Dude, these slimy people. Dude, you have to have such a good eye to catch that. I got him. I got him dead to rights. Oh, dude, they're cooked. They're cooked. Proctor is the witness. Oh, Michael Proctor, what did you do? Oh, they got him. Damn, they're going to get him, huh? Dude. Oh, he's fucked. His head turned. That was a jump cut. Oh, they fucking took her taillight out in the Sally port. That's brutal. Oh, you did her so dirty. Oh, my God. It's this plus what I'm about to show you, dispositive. Fuck. Dude, he was like bashing the fucking thing or something. He must have like bent down to do it, or like been on camera like moving his head in a way that would be indicative of like fucking like ripping the fucking pieces out. Oh my god, these slimy bastards. Oh my god. Oh wow, and it hid so well too. Like they thought they were brilliant, huh? You would never have noticed that unless you were specifically watching this door, which alters in its like lighting orientation too quick in like a frame, and then this dot, like you would have to, it's the same blue dot, but if you really have watched it, its orientation switches in a frame. Dude, this is heavily edited. You have your suspects. It's Michael Proctor, and I can't confirm. I'm going to do a project with Boozy Beauty, if she'll do it. We're going to like look at the floor plan of the Canton PD and then look at exactly who could have been where. Like Tully had an office he had set up in there, so it seems like this was coordinated by like a very specific group of people, all of whom were in the Canton PD at this specific point of time. The conspiracy to frame Karen Reed took effect at 5:38 p.m. Eastern on January 29, 2022. It might have been planned between that early morning and now, but this is when it was done. That's Michael Proctor. That was a clear jump cut after the unknown man walked away. It appears the first edit was to remove, like it might have been, it's unclear who it was. I have my suspicions. Let's call him the unknown man. It looks like Proctor, and it looks like this dude like taking pictures was the decoy. Okay, remember earlier in the video he was walking to the front in the car? It looks like he was trying to distract the camera while Proctor was just kind of like he was sketchy as fuck over here. And then he walks over here. There's a cut while this dude's like standing at the door, like a very clear cut, not really like obvious. And then setting that aside, you go forward. This is where it all starts getting weird. The real jump cut, like the real bad one, I'll show you zoomed in, is when the guy walks away from the car door, right? Set aside the pause and like the little bit of weirdness from when Proctor walks from like here to here. Said that's just the first piece of evidence. The second is when the guy at the door walks out here and his leg freezes here, and then an apparition appears here that turns into the unknown man. That means that as this man is walking out with Proctor over here, there is footage missing, okay? Then we get a little bit of footage where this man's leg is stuck and the unknown man walks away from Proctor without ever actually being near him. They cut out the footage of that unknown man walking over to Proctor at the taillight, and they cut out footage of whatever Proctor was doing there. And then this gets wild. The man walks like 5 feet away from Proctor, and like the footage comes back, but they put a yellow box. You're going to see it in the analysis we'll do in a second. They put a yellow blur box, and then this is the smoking gun. They by hand blended the blur box where the man's like body is in the light. As soon as the man gets into the dark sort of area by the exit, they let the blur box go, and you can't really make him out. Then, after the unknown man walks away, Proctor is still by himself for what looks like 5 seconds. But it's not, bro. Once the man walks away, there's a blatant jump cut. Blatant. Proctor's whole orientation of his body turns, and this door goes from like well lit to kind of like off lit, okay? All right? And it's clear that also was Proctor doing something. Now watch Proctor walk away after the jump cut. Look at his body. Look, he's got his head down. It's like he's like nervous. Why does a state cop have like his like body hunched, and why is he tucking something to the right? Bro, they framed her. Bro, they framed Karen Reed. Those two people framed Karen Reed. He has the thing. It looks like it's like a notepad. No, bro. Like he thinks he's out of the light there, so he's chill. There's one camera angle of this, and then he walks out. But there was a jump cut. He was doing something over there. The unknown man was doing something. Put it all together with what I'm about to show you. These two people are your prime suspects. And if that Second man is Michael Proctor. He's a material witness and potentially like a conspirator to the like murder of John O'Keefe. He wasn't there, but he willingly took part with the unknown man. We have a suspect. We don't know who he is. There's a lot of people who have ideas. But dude, I'm telling you right now, straight up, that just happened. That's the smoking gun. It wasn't the smoking gun for the reason people thought. Because of the missing footage. It's because of what I'm about to show you. So we go to 11:38. All right, watch this. We're going to watch this at 0.25 speed. So I got to get like the first frame. So give me 1 second. This is the 0.5 speed. I want the 0.25. All right, we got the 0.25. All right. This is a hyper zoomed in version. Do you see the man's trail leg? Do you see it? Okay. Look at it. This is Michael Proctor's head. Okay? Up there. Now watch the next few frames. Just watch them. That was one frame. What do you see? The smoking gun. Not only the square, but a perfect, like mouse-clicked blur at the body. This is the guy's head. You see a square right up above. That's his head. And then it trails here. And then here's the smoking gun. It's a straight line, bro. It's a straight line. This is a blur box. They left the yellow down here. They forgot like to blur it. So it looks like pixelation, but it's not. And then the white box, the blur box, goes over a little bit of Karen's car. It also goes over the taillight, but they blended that a little bit. This is the back driver's side taillight. It blends, but it doesn't blend right here. They fucked up right here. This blur box goes over the bumper, okay? And then it goes down to here. They try to, like, you see how it's like you see how, like, if I clicked my mouse and, like, wanted to blur this out? That's what that is, okay? I'll show you an example of it. This is going to freak you the fuck out. And then I'm going to take my dinner break. And if you want to donate to support, God bless you. We're still, I'll come back later. We can raise more later. But yeah, we're right at the precipice of having enough for the car rental tomorrow. So God bless you for everyone who helped. And I think my towel friend did make efforts to get the car that is mine to my possession. I don't know if it's going to happen soon. I'll let you know. We're going day to day. I'm trying not to be very nervous. Let me show you this, though. It's going to freak you out, but I'm sorry, we have to confront this together. So let me show you what they did. Like, I talked about it earlier and then couldn't process how intense it was, so I didn't show you. I'm just going to show you. And yes, it's going to freak you out a little bit. All right? So I'm going to use an image, my favorite image. It's going to be a towel. All right? Now, if you're thinking, oh no, is he about to show us like actually what they did? Yeah, I'm not going to do it on a video because someone said it was amateur. Like, okay, maybe it doesn't require like government level software, but like you have to actually be a pretty decent like real-time video editor to like do blending of a blur box in a like frame by frame. You have to literally slow it down frame by frame and like paint like old school animation like that. There's no tricks to it. You can't do it with AI. It's manual. It's like an artist, like a Michelangelo, kind of like painting with a brush. But this floppy as fuck. So let me show you what I mean by that. All right. And I can only do it like. I hope you're going to appreciate this lesson. It's kind of like a towel Bob Ross moment. I can only do it by actually removing the background on a picture. So I'm going to show you how to do that, all right? We can do it on a picture of Karen, I guess, right? I don't want to go find the picture of Karen, though. It's annoying as fuck. I'll just find, like, the first picture I can find. No, I don't want to do a picture of Epstein. He's a douche. Alright, I need like a good picture like that I can like cut the background out on. Yeah, I guess that one will work. No, yeah, okay. All right, so let me show you. All right, ready? Now, what I'm going to show you is going to really make a lot of you, like, sick to your stomach. I want you to do your best to process this, okay? Take a look, again, at this specific line, okay? I want you to look at it very closely and see how I'm tracing my mouse on it. And then look at the box over here, okay? So box this side, and then this side has like a trace, like a mouse trace to blur it or get rid of the blur box for this part. Okay, you ready for this? First of all, I have to make sure it's going to work. I think it will. All right, you ready? So I have an image here. I made this image with some, you know, artistic rendering. It's a Tao crying. He got his Pulitzer, but, you know, and he has a little Virgin Mother by him, but the price was high, you know. So I click background remover, right? Now the AI is going to do it for me. It's going to process it and pull the towel out, right? Watch. Like, it knows what it's doing. See how good that is? Do you see how it's like really, really good? Okay, well, watch this. Okay. Let's say I had like not done it right? Okay, so let's say I had done it a little wrong and it didn't really do exactly what we wanted, right? It would look like that. Now, let's say I was like, oh, shit, like I gotta do this by hand, bro. Like the AI is like not good enough. Okay, you see how I can change the DPI of this selector? When I'm just erasing away from him, I can kind of just like, oh no, I fucked up. You see what I mean? Then I got to do the undo button, right? And you don't want to hold the click for too long because you want to do each stroke as a new click. So if you undo, it does it as just like that, all right? Now, you see how I can like get close to him, but I don't want to get too close with this like really big one. So I want to switch the DPI, right? Now I could bring the DPI, if I'm like a really refined artist, I'll bring the DPI that low and just do it by hand, right? You see what I'm doing? All right, we don't need it that low for like half an inch away. Now, let me show you what you'd actually do. Again, this is going to make a lot of you really freaked out. You just have to watch. So what you're going to do if you're like really editing is you're going to zoom in on your palette with a small brush stroke, okay? So I'm going to do Control plus. And then I'm going to do this. Do you see how I can manipulate my palette? My 11-inch brush at that zoom is good, but what I really want for the type of work is a 1-inch brush. Now, this is why I say it's kind of like being like a Michelangelo. If you're going to do this, like, and you're really doing it, and it matters, it's going to Reuters, it's going in a court record, you better meticulously fucking paint this brush stroke. And it's kind of like, I'm pretty good at it. You need a very steady hand, but like I'm zoomed in on like a microscopic level and I'm really good at this. I've been doing this for a very long time. And that's what I mean. You know how I was kind of saying earlier, like it's not a joke when I say they meticulously did it. They're just amateurs, like rank fucking amateurs. Because like no matter what you do, if you do it, like they couldn't use AI. It was too precise. So they had to do it like this. Okay. Now, do you see how I build like a buffer here? This is the most important part. My buffer. See how I fucked that up right there? It went into the blue. I got to undo those, right? Because that fucked up the most important part. Like that part, like what touches the blue is everything. That is what's called the blend. I have to nail this. If I want to make this without AI a perfect cutout, I can't fuck up this trace. I can go north if I want to like pull away from it, that's fine, but I cannot go into the blue or it's going to fuck up. Like I have to literally trace the arc perfectly or it's going to be obvious, okay? So this is what the person who did that editing was doing. They were by hand doing this, okay? Once you have your buffer, okay, we're just using this as an example, but they actually traced the dude's like full kind of frame and they wanted to like alter it. Now, do you see how hard it is? Like, I'm good at what I do. I'm using a 1 pixel brush. And I'm just painting down along his arm, okay? Maybe we add a nice little tree in there, you know? Just a little tree. It's a beautiful little tree. It looks kind of like a saucer, but it's just a little tree. Okay, maybe it has, you know, it doesn't have any branches, but, you know, it's just a little tree. Maybe a few birdies on it. Okay, that's our tree. You know, it doesn't have a very nice area to it, but that's our tree. Okay, it's a nice little tree. All right, so you can see the point, though. I want my buffer. Then it doesn't matter, right? Because I'm using my buffer. It doesn't matter if I bump my buffer, like when I'm doing my painting here, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't really matter, bro. See what I mean? If I bump my buffer, it does, like, oh shit, fuck that up. See what I mean? And then it's going to take away everything because I did it as one stroke probably. I'd never do it as one, like, paintbrush. But you see what I'm doing here? Like, that's good. Like, you're getting the point. Then I go in here, like, I get rid of my little tree. He was a nice tree. Still got to, like, be careful. But, like, if you have your buffer, like, all you're really, you can work with a bigger, like, thing and reduce the time. But, like anytime you get close to the edges, you got to be careful. Now, look at this. This was the towel edit. All right? Watch what it'll do it. You see this? You see this specifically? How, like, it kind of, like, it's okay. But do you see, like, how it's, like, obvious? Like, I fucked this up. Like, there's, like, a gap there. Like, we can look more closely. But, like, I fucked this up. There's, like, a gap there. Like, it's not good. Like, this part I just gave up. Like, you see how there's, like, a very obvious what's called trace line? Because that's what someone did, okay? This is why you're going to freak out. Oh, did someone send a donation? That would be amazing. Nope. It was them. It was Cash App telling me I owe them money because I used their payment feature. So I guess that's even more reason. If you're learning something, help the channel. Someone who asked if I need a little help earlier. Yeah, we're close. We're like $55 away from today's goal, and we got 16 minutes. Then I'll do dinner and come back, and we can keep working on it. But anyway, do you see the point here? I've just showed you a live demo of what, like, happened with that file, okay? Like, when you're doing it on a picture, that's one thing. When you're doing it on a video, bro, like, and I'm not saying they superimposed this. What they did was something a little different. They, like, let me give you an example. They put, like, hold on, let me zoom out. They did this, okay? Let me show you what they did. They, like, took a blur box, right? So, let me see, blur box. It's like this, right? And let's see if I can get a yellow one. So this is for a picture, but you get the point. Like, they did something like this, okay? All right? And they wanted to, like, blur, like, they use more of, like, a rectangle. So let me get, like, a rectangle one. But they use, like, squares like this, okay? Did you notice how it had, like, a cut line? And so they just lined them up like that. And then what they wanted to do, ideally, like, they didn't really want it like that, but they wanted to, like, have the blur line kind of, like, stop at his form, you know? And so what they were really doing was taking, like, the blur line and then editing it. You know what I mean? Like, they were rounding the corner of the blur line. They were doing what I just did with that, with the blur line. Okay, it's actually somewhat impressive. Like, they were actually like literally like using like something like this, okay, which is like an erase tool, okay, and then they were doing like this, okay, and you see how, like, it's a similar concept to our background remover, but I'm erasing it, okay. Like, I'm still painting a line. It's more, like, complex when you do it, like, for an erase versus a background. But, like, I'm just taking that blur line, erasing it, okay? And then watch what happens to my composition. Okay? Let me go back over here. And see how the blur line is now starting to erase around him? Okay. Well, if I really want to make the point, like, using background remover for this is stupid, but, like, you click background remover, you bring up the setting, and then, like, you just actually remove the background. Like, I didn't have to use the magic eraser because it kind of dulled it, but it gave me like a good like guideline, and then I just like fucking erase it. Okay, that's what they did. They put a blur box, they erased it. Okay, and then you have to go down here. Hold on. You click done. Now watch. Look, that's all they did. And like she curved it better than I did. I have an idea who did it. But like, do you see what they did? Like, it's harder when you're doing it this way. But they just like curved it like this to match his figure. They curved the blur box. All right? And that's what's like freaking me out. Like, that's exactly what it would look like. A hand, it's called hand touching. It would be a hand touched like edit of the blur box. And so you see what I mean? Like, look how it like kind of curves to his head, right? Like, it's not perfect. I got more work to do, but they just like put a blur box on it and then curved it to the dude's figure. I've just proven it for you. I'm telling you, like, hold on, it's full screen, but on the wrong screen. I want to move it to the other screen. I'm telling you, I'm looking at. I've analyzed this in depth. We're on a very high resolution for our purposes, zoom of it. And I'm telling you, if you watch my mouse, you notice the comparison to what we just did? That's his head. Okay, it's just square. They got lazy. But this part's square. They left the blur box. They kind of blended the snow part. And they used it perfectly on his silhouette. They literally used a blur box. Okay, his body is like... Watch what happens with his body. Ready? Watch. Watch. Watch him move. See the blur box? It goes with him. The edge, it's a frame at a time. It's like painting. Okay, watch the next frame. Wait for it. It's at 0.25. Watch the frame. Watch the blur box extend. It stays a square back here, but it only extends with his body. Okay? Look, they're doing this by hand. Then they kind of like give up. It's just a but. It looks like they use like rectangular like lines like this, like fence blur. Like it's like individual. I'd say it's like, I don't know, like 1 or 2 across and then like 10 down, 12 down, not inches, more like millimeters. But they're individual like fence posts that kind of like go up and down. It's very poor. Like it's a very poor job. And then watch, it stretches with him. Okay, and then it immediately goes away. Why does it go away there? Because he's in the dark. His face has moved from the light to the dark, therefore rendering it impossible to see him. I've proven it. I've proven it beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm sorry, it's indisputable. Yeah, like, I mean, it's not that. Like, that's so low quality. I need the source file. That is not the source file. The state turned this over to the Reed defense, we know from the sidebars, as a EXE. When, like, we need the source video file from that recording. Then I can really tell you what happened. Oh, hell yeah, I can tear into it. I wouldn't analyze the gait. I would analyze the silhouette. The gait is useless. His like walk, yes, like his hulking walk is important, but gait isn't going to get you there. It will give you a clue. What's going to get you there is this, his head, if that's a hat, a black hat, and if the wording was visible on the back of this sweatshirt in one of the prior images, and like the fact that he's going like this, that like holding his belly, and the fact that he has a pop belly. Like that and those shoes. That's going to get you there. No, you can strip the metadata from a file. You really can. It's called like ID3 tag editing or something. You can just strip it. You can't strip the MD5 hash. An MD5 hash is, every file has it, but bro, just ID3 tag editing, that goes back to like iPods. Don't make me pull out the iPod. All right. So maybe I should do like a quick video explainer of why I think I have the smoking gun. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. We don't have any footage outside, no. Nunya, you are a captain of a boat, so you do have a distinct walk style because you have to make sure the animals stay in line. You know what I'm saying? Nunya is actually the captain of a boat. He's a boat captain, or they're a boat captain. All right. Still not exactly sure what Nunya is. You know, I'm going to figure it out. They're not really a boat captain. But let's do our video. Hello, folks. My name is Grant Smith Ellis. I'm a journalist covering Karen Reed, John O'Keefe case, a number of other cases, the Epstein files, Sandra Birchmore case. It is about 4:53 p.m. on Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? It is Tuesday, actually, February 17th, 2026. And I have been looking at a piece of footage, specifically from the Canton Police Sally Port at 5:38 p.m. Eastern on January 29, 2022. Michael Proctor's head is up in the top right. On the top left is a man who has just walked away from the door. We're about to see an unknown mystery man that the world is aflame, the Karen Reed trial world is aflame, attempting to figure out who it is. This man, however, his presence, his apparition into this video file is not the biggest scandal. The biggest scandal is what's about to happen digitally when he appears. Why? Because you're going to notice, as I mentioned, this man was walking out of frame. And that leg that you see is a trail leg, his right leg, after walking out of frame. There is nothing that happens to trigger a motion event between when this trail leg walks out of frame and the next frame you're about to see. So there is no new recording that starts. There's no new trigger event. The camera's already recording. There is a jump cut. Ready? And that is the very next thing you see. Now, you might be saying to yourself, well, okay, that looks a little anomalous. It almost looks like someone used like a blur tool specifically right here, like put a bunch of like square boxes, like square blur boxes right here that were yellow, and then by hand traced a blend right around the figure so you can't see what this figure's doing. And also there's a trail leg. Notice the trail leg. I'm going to go a frame at a time at 0.25 speed. Watch what happens. Look at the trail leg. It's just frozen. Look at this person. He's still moving. Watch his next steps. Oh, the trail leg's still there, but he's still moving. And the blur box is now just around his figure. Now wait. Now he's in the light in this point. This is a zoomed in like transition from the lit part of the Canton Police Sally Port to the outside where there's no light. It's a snowstorm and a blizzard. It's like 5:38 p.m. in January in New England. The blur box at this point is still hand drawn. There are now obvious fence posts blurs. Okay. They're yellow to try to make it seem like it's just an accident because of the yellow post here. That's not what's happening. That blur box down there is just not blended. Okay, it's got a perfectly round, perfectly square edge. Okay. Blur box goes up here. It actually covers the little bit of the bumper here. It was a mistake. Goes over it. You can tell it's post-production editing. Okay. Now watch what happens. As this man takes one more step out of the light, that's what it's about. Now you see how damning that angle is? Why? Because the interior light is on the guy's sweatshirt and lighting up what appears to be white lettering right here. It's a clear image of the color of his pants, which look like jeans. It looks like they didn't do a great job, okay? Looks like it's actually blue jeans, but they go dark once he steps out of the light. Okay? That's the only thing they missed. His sweatshirt here is already moving into the dark, so they didn't really blur it. They kind of blurred the lettering. And then all of this is post-production blurring. It's like timed. It's like perfectly drawn along his like leg, and then like his right buttocks, and then up towards his back of his sweatshirt, and then here, okay? Now, notice, this is still here, the blur box. Same place. They kind of blended this, but they forgot this. So the blur box is now extending with him. Now watch this. It just goes away in a single frame. That was one frame. Everything is gone because look at that line of demarcation. He went from the light basically outside. See how dark it is around him? It's because the angle of the light is inwards. So as soon as he crosses the threshold, the camera angle is catching his feet at the part where he's about to exit having light on him. Okay, the light is cast from behind him. Look at his shadow. He is now in the dark, and only this small portion of him is lit up from behind. They blurred where you would be able to identify this man. This man is the prime suspect, in my opinion, for questioning, as a lay towel, in the death of John O'Keefe. Now watch what happens when this man walks away, okay? Video is going to play for a few seconds. What you're actually going to see here is the video pause during questioning in court. I'm going to show you when the figure walks away. I'm jumping forward a little bit. This is the only copy that was shown. It was during cross-examination of Yuri Buchanan. This is the only time this very sort of pixelated video was shown on the court screen. We do not have the raw file. Karen Reed's legal team got it as an EXE from the state, but the raw file has not been turned over. Now, you're going to see at 0.25 speed, that's why it's going so slow during the pause in the questioning. You'll see the camera move a little bit. That's actually the Court TV cameraman recording a screen in the courtroom of Norfolk Superior Court during the first Karen Reed trial on June 10th, 2024 during the morning session. Now, because it's playing at 0.25, like that time for questioning, even though it was only a few seconds, maybe like 30 seconds to a minute, is actually a little longer on our 0.25 copy, which is fine. We want to see Mr. Alan Jackson unpause the footage, which he's about to do, and you're going to see this man walk away. You're going to be able to see his full gait. Okay, no, the censor bar is gone because he has walked into the light. And it is very slow. So 0.25, there he goes. We have no images of him basically other than that. There he is walking away. Now Michael Proctor's up here. Now did you see that jump cut? Did you see his hat like just jump? A little spooky, right? Then Michael Proctor, we know this to be Michael Proctor, walks away, turning his body from the camera with something like wrapped up in one arm, maybe a blue box or something, and then he's gone. Ladies and gentlemen, I submit to you what I think happened. Blur boxes were put on that image. It's different than editing an image like I'm doing. Blur boxes were put on that video. And all you need to do is trace the outline of the figure under the blue box with this exact kind of tool, which can be shrunk to a size where if you zoom in, okay, you can literally do editing like this, literally to a pixel. You see those little DP, you see those little square boxes? Those are 1 pixel in size. I am zoomed in to the point where I'm editing this blur box, see this kind of like trace I'm doing at 1 pixel. I'm literally going a pixel at a time. And as you can see, it will render, and it took a little bit more off, and then I just line it up. I didn't finish this part. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that is how this specific blur box I'm going to show you it. Was done. Hold on, let me back up a little bit. I went like 2 seconds. You only got like 2 frames of it. I believe that's how this blur box was done. You see the tracing? See how it even like traces around his shoe? Look at it. Look at that. If we go back a frame or two. Okay, just a frame. This is the first, like one of the first frames with the blur box. Look, same concept. Now if we go back another frame, same concept. See how it traces with my mouse? Exactly how I was doing it on the other example, okay? And if we just keep going backwards, we can run it forwards, we can run it backwards. From the minute this blur box first appears, remember it's not there, there's the trail leg. Excuse me, there's the trail leg. Trail leg. It's not there, boom. The second the blur box is there, you can see the hard line at the car covering the bumper right there. You can see the clear hard line here. It's a corner. It's artificial. It doesn't exist in nature. And then you can see the trace. That is the giveaway. This video is edited. This is a blur box. This is the main suspect in the death of John O'Keefe, in my opinion. And look, the blur box stays with him. That's how you know it's a natural. They did this 1 frame at a time, like classic animation. A video is just moving pictures. It's 1 frame at a time. They slowed it down. They superimposed this blur box, and then they what's called blended the blur right here. Okay, as he moves, they blend the blur box with where he's walking, and it kind of extends behind him. It's censoring him. Okay. Censoring him. He has 2 legs, one there, one here. Blur box is trailing with him. It's artificial. It's fake. And then it goes away as soon as he's out of the light. Game, set, match. QED. That's your prime suspect. Find him. You solve John O'Keefe's murder. My name's Grant Smith Ellis. It took 3 years. With everything I know, with everything I've learned, I'm telling you my definitive conclusion is that is the prime suspect in the murder of John O'Keefe. Find him, get justice for Johnny. Say what you will about like what John was up to before he died. It's between him and God, bro. He's dead. May he rest in peace. The people who are still alive that may have killed him or that were involved with whatever, trafficking, drugs, I don't want to know. Epstein, Rob Devine, Matt Farwell, Birchmore, I don't want to know. But that's your prime suspect. That man right there. God bless the United States of America. God bless this Constitution. God bless the well-meaning police officers. God bless all you who waited years to get answers. And only after a number of sidebars and Towel reviewing this explicitly did we get our answer. It is that man. The unknown man. We have ideas, but it's that man. We're going to get justice for John, no matter what it means, I suppose. Thank you for supporting me. YouTube.com/Grant Smith Ellis. X.com, Grant Smith Ellis. I'm not going to feel guilty about saying that, like, I bankrupted myself doing this because of the pressure. Michael Proctor's, like, uncle-in-law dated my mom or something, or was, like, hanging out with my mom. Then she tried to evict me. I didn't have any food for a while. I had to use the food pantry at law school. So, I need your help. We're doing good. God bless you for all your donations. But, yeah, you can support me. And I'm not going to be made to feel guilty about it. I'm a little towel. So... there's a Cash App, Grant Smith Ellis. There's a Venmo at GrantE1. There's a PayPal for our non-American friends, paypal.me/Grant Ellis. We're going day to day right now, helping Tal raise a little bit for his rental car and food. And I'm going to take a dinner break soon. And then I'll be back later tonight for more sidebar readings of the Michael Proctor Directing Cross. Thanks for watching. I'm not actually ending Tal, friends. I just wanted to make a video and then upload it. Oh, God bless you, his aimness. You are so kind. If anyone needs the links, I don't mean to be a jerk about it, but I'll drop them in the chat. And if we get this going, I don't know if that's what you were talking about, but if anyone wants to donate, I'll drop the links in the chat. We are getting close to the goal, and then I'm going to go to dinner, and it would be good. I think it would be cool if we could extend it before I go to dinner. Do I have enough? We're right on the verge. We're really close. It's very close. Yeah, I do agree that guy is the whole thing. And even if you weren't asked about donations, I still post the link anyway, because if you like this channel, support it. Help Tal get some food. I'm going on my dinner break in like 5 minutes. There's no sponsors. There's no one helping me. There's no like corporate awards. There's none of that. Just you all. You might be like, damn, he really needs help this month. Yeah. I got a job to try to like show my mom I could do it even though I was disabled. Then she took my car away and I had to pay more money to get to work than I was making, and it was really hard. So now I sit a lot because I'm disabled, and this is what helps me take my mind off my physical condition. All right, let's write it up. All right. That was a tough day. However, I believe I have definitively proven that the Canton PD Sally Port footage from 5:38 p.m. Eastern on 1/29/2022 was edited in post-production. Oh, someone sent a donation. Oh my goodness, I think we have enough for the rental. Okay, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go eat. Hold on, I got to write up the post first. God bless you. But yes, let's do what the donation is helping, which is me writing up things for the public. Hold on, are we too zoomed in for this, for you to see this? No, you can see what I'm doing. Let's close this stuff up. However, I believe I have definitively proven that the Canton PD Sally Port footage from 5:38 p.m. Eastern. No, I want to invert that. I want the PM to be lowercase, and that is not how you spell definitively, Grant. That's not even how you spell definitely. Definitively. Proven that the Canton PD, no, that's not it either. Definitively proven that the Canton PD Sally Port footage was edited in post-production to intentionally obscure the identity of an unknown mystery man who may well be the prime suspect in the death of John O'Keefe. I'm calling it. That's it. I'm calling it. I'm declaring it. He is my prime suspect. That doesn't mean he did something wrong. He's just a suspect, in my opinion. Now, you don't have to agree, but I've also taken on a Southern drawl. Blame Lynn Britton. I love Lynn Britton. She's hilarious. But my point is, I'm now a Southern towel. And you might be like, Towel, you are not a Southern towel. You live in Boston. Well, what if I want to become Southern? In John O'Keefe's death. Let's do a poll before I go. Who could be, not who may well be, man, who could. I think I want to play some video games before we come back. Do you mind if I take like 2 hours off to play The Getaway on PS2 while I eat my dinner? Then I'll come back. We'll do a stream till like midnight again. Feel like the late night crew's pretty fun. All right. Let's see. I believe I have definitively proven that the Canton PD Sally Port footage video. I'm not going to call it footage. I'm going to call it a video because I need to save some characters. All right. There we go. I'm uploading it now. Then I'm going to go eat because I think we've done it. Oh, and then I'll also extend my rental with you all here because you'll see how grateful I am when I do it. It makes me really happy for you to know that I am grateful because your donations make an impact in Towel Life, you know. And also, you've turned me Southern. Tripoli Bob, let me check right now. I believe, let me tell you the amount that's left over after I extend for tomorrow. So you are all so kind to tell. I'm sorry if I don't see your comments for like 60 seconds. I have your comments they're like delayed a little bit. So if the mods see something they really don't like, they can get rid of it before it goes up on the screen. You're all mods, so it's weird. Nobody ever really does that. But I see your comments. It's like a 60-second delay. All right, I'm doing it right now. Everybody cross your towel fingers. All right. Fingers crossed. Is it going to work? Everybody cross your towel fingers. How much is it? 72. Oof, that's rough. Okay, we might have enough. Everybody cross your towel fingers. You'd be surprised how rough it is to just do things because you care. Society, you all are really I think changing the incentive to like just do things because you care about them. But for like decades, like if you didn't do it just for money, bro, like nobody was gonna like just help you. Like no one cared. Like you had to like sell out to succeed, and I hated that shit. All right, I think we're gonna be able to do it. Everybody ready? Everybody ready? Okay, hold on. So there's gonna be a fee, but I think that should be okay. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna be so grateful. Ooh, okay, so that's one more day. Okay, it's doing it. It's doing it. I think it's gonna work. Okay. Oh my dear God. Oh my God. Okay. Hold on. Everybody breathe. Do you want to tell to cry? That was very okay. Everybody stop. I think we're okay for the next like day. Everybody stop. Everybody stop. That was the kindest thing that anyone's ever done. I'm gonna cry. You don't understand. I have like a negative net worth. Like $50 is a lot of money to me. I'm gonna hold my nope. We're gonna hold ourselves together. I care a lot, and I'm very grateful, and I want everyone to stop. We're good. We're good for today. I'll let you know if there's a problem. We're good for today. Oh, I can get a real meal. I've eaten fast food for like 3 months. I want to get a real meal. That would be really nice. Oh, I'm so grateful. Okay. Everybody stop. We have reached our donation goal. It would be good for at least like a few days. I'm going to get some medicine now. Okay. Goal achieved, and then some. I am very grateful. God bless you all. Okay. That was an experience. I'm just grateful that we're all in each other's lives, and that people care enough to be compassionate to each other. And there's a lot of pressure to not do the right thing. And even if it is the path less traveled, you should know that there are people who will support you if you do it. You don't always have to just do it because people want you to say what they feel. But if you just are willing to express yourself in the service of truth, even if what you're saying is controversial or goes against the grain, it may well make a difference. And it may feel scary, and it may seem there's no safety net, but there is. And it doesn't matter where it takes you, just do it. That's the lesson I've learned, and I'm very grateful to all of you. And for someone who's good with words, maybe I'm not the best with appreciating compassion. It was hard growing up. I was blessed, but like things were like given, and then like 6 months later it'd be like, oh well, you got this for Christmas, I'm going to take it away because you didn't do this. And I'm learning, I'm growing as a person, and I'm very grateful that I'm with you all on this journey. There's so many of you. I wish I could meet you all and talk to you. I don't want to like have a gathering, but just like go to coffee. That would be very nice, just to know some of you. We do know each other through the chat, but I've always lived a very isolated existence. It's alien to me to, I don't know, kind of like relate to individual people. I like to help like the crowd, the masses. So you all have changed what I think about like people. You've shown me like the better angels of our nature. I've met like wonderful people. You're all like, notice like you all have different views on the case, but you all like don't let people come in here no matter what their views are and be jerks. I just It's a very special thing. I wish I could pen you a sort of like written piece that appropriately reflects my appreciation, but I don't know if even that would do justice to it. So I guess my words are all I have, and thank you for being with me during that tough moment earlier when I realized the trace on the edited video was what it was. It had a very heavy impact on my soul. It was a lot of years covering this case, and I'm just grateful. So well, I'm so pleased that I'm gonna be able to recharge. I'm gonna get I was like, oh no, like maybe I'll get a coffee. How am I gonna wake up? Now I'm gonna go get a coffee. I'm gonna have a meal. I'm gonna come back around 7. We'll do some sidebars and we'll see where it goes. I've never felt so supported, and I also feel like it's unconditional. I am just like doing my thing, and people think it's important, and that means something to me. And I hope I've expressed it. Okay, my name is Grant Smith Ellis. It's 5:20. We're going to call it a dinner break, which means I'm not going to do my traditional ending, but I will give you a synopsis. If you've benefited from this stream, if you've learned something today, if you found friends here, if you thought it was interesting, if you've been educated, informed, or entertained, there's a way you can pay it forward. You can look for reasons to do small acts of service and kindness for the people around you. Doesn't matter if you're loud about it, quiet about it, talk about it. All I want you to do is look for reasons to find those small acts of service and kindness in the world. Our homeless veterans need it. Our animals, our furry friends need it. Maybe animal shelters run by veterans, the big issue in the UK. I think it's possible to actually replace the darkness with light by rippling out those acts of service. And forget about just me, anyone you come across. By just rippling out acts of kindness, all of a sudden that fills the void, and then people are just being kind to each other, and that's what is rewarded in society. And by 6 degrees of towels Kevin Bacon, we're good. I don't think it's a panacea. Well, it might actually be a panacea, but it's going to take a lot of collective effort. And it's not communism. Pete Bunny Towel will be very mad. It's more like we love Jesus or whoever you worship, and we're compassionate. So my name is Grant Smith Ellis, and I really appreciate all of you. I will be back at 7 o'clock, youtube.com, maybe like 7:30, youtube.com/@Grant Smith Ellis. I want to write a note to a very kind friend who sent a donation. youtube.com/Grant Smith Ellis, and then Twitter, x.com/@Grant Smith Ellis. And I'm stunned and also grateful, and thank you for being you, all of you. All right, 7:30, around then. I'll be back.